So over 3 hours.
Yes.
You have 3-hour erections. That would annoy me.
Yeah.
You know, I sometimes feel them when I'm like sleeping on my stomach, and it's like, oh, okay. It kind of wakes you up.
Yeah.
And so you turn on your side so that you have more room.
Yes. Yeah.
Because when you're,
Yeah.
otherwise you're fucking the bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I've done.
Yeah.
But not anymore. But a 3-hour, I feel like a 3-hour erection. I feel Titanic was too long. Let alone an erection. And I like the movie. And I like erections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the average 18-year-old is 2 hours and 30 minutes. And so by the time you're 70 years old, the average goes down to 50 minutes. So as most things happen in age, there's a slow decline.
We're talking about erections, but what I mentioned before, nocturnal emissions, is when you actually ejaculate in your sleep.
Yeah.
Do you do that?
I don't. I mean, as a kid, I did.
Well, would you like to see a program? That I have some literature here, Brian.
Yeah. I mean, that's such a wild experience as a kid to go through.
Well, especially if you're I was raised Catholic.
Exactly. I'm raised Mormon.
Holy fuck. Really?
Yeah.
But you got away?
I did.
They don't let you go easy.
I mean,
They really
get you.
Well, also, I mean, your whole social world.
You're in reality.
You are really excommunicated.
Yeah.
From, they're not mean like Scientologists. They're not going to fucking send the investigators and the spies and but they do cut you off. Like you are persona non grata.
Yeah. Like the way I think about it is, so I'm 35 trillion cells. And so if you think about it, like how many of my cells were Mormon? 35 trillion. Like they are so deeply integrated into your cellular structure. Whereas if you're Catholic, or maybe 5 trillion of your cells, like you're kind of weakly associated with it, but you're not really deeply. But Mormonism, they usually get in and it defines your entire existence.
But we're talking about a religion that believes that God is a 6'2" man, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like we know what he looks like, and it's not that different from us.
That's right.
On the planet Kolob.
Well done.
Oh yeah, I made a whole movie, Religious, about.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
we went to Salt Lake City, got thrown out of the temple. But a 6'2" human man with erections that last 4 hours a night. I'd like to see that in the Book of Mormon, but that, I mean, that to me is just astounding. That the things that religions can tell people, and they just nod along, and again, it's apropos to our discussion about medicine, because I really see people looking at doctors as a similar sort of priesthood. Now, of course, what doctors are saying is not nearly as based on absolute thin air, but so much of what they've told us in the past, and we will find out, are telling us now, is way, way, way off. I think if you actually could calculate the amount of sickness and death from bad medical advice, it would be astronomical.
Yeah, that's like a natural arc, right? I mean, my life has followed that same arc where you begin trusting all things, authority, structures, history.
You're a kid.
Just bit by bit, you arrive at a certain point in your adulthood, you're like, I don't think I can trust anything. Like what, I mean, if you actually narrow down, what do you actually know? It is such a small number of things.
I certainly don't trust anything in the media.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Unless I vet it.
I don't trust history. I don't trust the media. I don't trust authority. I don't trust,
here's a great example. I just read this. You follow baseball?
Yeah.
You do?
I mean, I understand when the World Series happens.
Okay.
I understand it's a sport in America. People play. They get into big stadiums. They throw this thing around.
Okay, so you don't. I didn't even know you were gay. So you know who Ty Cobb is? You've heard of Ty Cobb.
Yes.
One of the greatest players of all time. I think he played in like the first 2 decades of the 20th century. At a very different era. Led the league 1 year in home runs with 9. This is before Babe Ruth.
Mm-hmm.
Although his career.
How many did Babe hit? Like 40 a year? 50?
The Babe famously hit 60 in 1927.
Yeah.
That was the record until Roger Maris in the 1960s hit 61. And now Barry Bonds has it with 73.
But did he get discredited because of the steroids?
Yes, Barry Bonds. Although I think that's kind of bullshit. I'm sure he was on steroids.
Right.
I mean, one year, it's one thing to show up in spring training and you have a different pant size, but he had a different head size. Okay,
But what were his nighttime erections? All right. So
anyway, the point
Cobb.
is, Ty Cobb forever has had this reputation that he was a horrible racist and just the most unpopular guy. You just hate, because he was a fierce competitor, came in with the spikes.
Yeah.
And some guy finally went back and did the research that the lazy people had never done.
Yeah.
It's a new book. I just read the review. It's fascinating. And of course, he has the actual data from the time. He wasn't unpopular and he wasn't a racist. We have quotes.
Yeah.
It just shows something becomes ossified as the truth and everybody goes along and everybody else is too lazy to look it up until somebody does, if they ever do.
Yeah.
And you're right. I mean, I just know when I read about myself in the media, that's what I think. I go wait,
exactly.
I know me.
Yeah.
I know this subject really well.
Yeah.
So this is you're writing about this person
it's
who
2 degrees away.
It's like a fictional character.
Yeah.
So if you're that wrong about this thing that I know so well, what else are you wrong about that I don't know that well? But I just have to assume you're possibly just as wrong.
Exactly. So the starting point, I agree with you, is we have to the starting point is you're probably better off distrusting everything you think you know.
Yeah. And also free speech. Let people talk. I know it's annoying when they say things that are horrible. That's what free speech means. Let other people then tell them they're horrible. And that's what it's going to be anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, they tried to tamp down stuff, the last administration, and now we're going to get, as we always do in this country, not the medium, the sensible center. We're going to get the backlash. And it's going to be terrible on the other side of it. Can we just stop the pendulum from going all the way to, no?
It's a gravitational force, right? It just moves.
That thing,
thing
that everybody had on their desk.
Nobody can.
My holistic doctor has this great sort of serial
Current doctor.
Yeah, current.
Yeah.
For 20 years. The great sort of cereal, I would call it, made from healthy grains and seeds that you put in a ground and put in a thermos, leave overnight in hot water. And that it kind of looks like oatmeal, but it's better. And then you eat it with a couple of fruits and, okay, so there's some sugar there. It's meant to be eaten first thing. I was eating it last thing. So I was eating a really good thing at the exact wrong time.
Yeah.
Did it kill me? No.
Yeah.
Did it shave off some? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I can't go through my life. I mean, I do all the time, beat myself up. Why didn't I know this that I know now that? And it's just pointless. I can't stop doing it.
Yeah.
Because I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah. Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it does always bug me when I could have done something better.
Yeah.
Because why was I so stupid?
Yeah.
Because you were.
Yeah. What do you think 90-year-old Bill would look back on this moment and say?
If only I could have Brian's erections.
Which is
telling you,
honestly right. If the erections are right, life is right.
I agree.
I mean, honestly, it is that simple.
And when I need to address this issue, I will come to you. Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, there are many people my age or approaching 70 who, their view, especially women, I've heard many women say this, public women also, it's closed up down there, that it's, I had my day. And I respect that. And I get it. I'm not as horny as I used to be. It's not closed up down there, but I can foresee how at some point in your life, and maybe it's appropriate that you're not having sex at 90. Maybe that's a little greedy, that tis a season for everything. I don't know if that's the season. Now, this is still hopefully I'm still in season, and I want to be, because I don't feel old and I don't act old and I don't do old. And I think a lot of that comes because I never did get married. So I did not like pass on to another generation, okay, here's where all my energy is going to go into making your life. I understand that. And I know people, obviously make that choice and are very happy with it. It just wasn't my choice.
Yeah.
But I do think, for me anyway, it's kept me young because I've never been in Bill phase 2.0, and when you're always in 1.0, maybe you're a Peter Pan complex. I've been called every bad name for that. I don't give a fuck. That's me.
Yeah.
It's what I was, obviously, if it lasted for this many years, it's what I was supposed to and destined to be, is I travel light. I'm a lone wolf. I like it that way. And it just was always the way I've been. I basically do everything I always did my whole life. I play basketball. I like girls, stand up, my show. It hasn't really changed in decades. Could change tomorrow.
Yeah. It seems like the patterns, if they've gone through all those stages of life.
I think in general, I put more faith in the mental aspect of longevity and maybe you're concentrating more on the physical. I don't know. We haven't really talked about where you think the mental part plays in this. Do you think it's 10% of it? There are people who think it's over 50% of it. Where are you on that?
I always just go to the data. Like what?
It's hard to have data on that.
Yeah,
it's hard to have data what's going on inside your mind.
Yeah, I think in many ways. So I've become the most measured person in human history.
And not just your dick.
Yeah, like there's
all of it.
Yeah, like I'm of
Right.
all the humans, like whatever, 100 billion. How many people have lived?
Oh, in all of time?
Yeah. What is
Well,
the
there's
number?
8 billion now.
Yeah.
I would guess twice that many.
Okay, so whatever number it is, I'm the most measured person of all those humans in history.
Right.
There's more data on my body, and what I have found, what I've learned is that you can in fact extract insights when you're doing this kind of comprehensive measurement.
Absolutely.
And that a lot of what we thought was subjective or qualitative, you could actually pinpoint with very clear patterns.
I totally. Data is everything.
Yeah, and this is why I go to these. When I try to piece together reality, like every generation for the past couple thousand years, they try to solve the riddle of existence. Like Buddha was like, hey, like I'm suffering. I want to go through an ego death. There's planes of existence. There's this eightfold path. And then Muhammad said, submit to God. Jesus said, I am the Son of God. Adam Smith said, there's the invisible hand. America said, we the people. Karl Marx said, class warfare. Like throughout the centuries, like the number of ideologies that we have as a species is very, very small.
Wow, I've never heard all of human thought that was put on a T-shirt like that. That's
if you try to
that's an amazing summation. I mean, obviously for the kids watching, I would say do some further reading. I mean, you can't quite sum it up, but I get what you're saying. I get the big point
try
here.
To smooth it out, right? And so, like, if you basically just say, like, what have we been doing to, as a species? Like, how do we understand reality? It's less than 10 ideas.
Yeah. And also comes from like a very small number of people.
Exactly.
A very small number of people make all of the comfy life that we live possible. It's literally maybe a couple of dozen of scientists through the ages who came up with and then maybe refined, stood on each other's shoulders, and Isaac Newton, just the basic things where otherwise you'd be in the brush, wiping your ass with a leaf,
stinging needle. Yes, yeah. My friend did that when I was in school. Like I went to pick him up in 5th grade. We were gonna walk to school, and it's like, Kurt can't go today, and Kurt's at the top of the stairs, and like, he's hurting. He on a scout trip, wiped his ass with stinging needle.
Yeah.
That was a bad situation.
Because I can't make my own electricity. I've tried.
Yeah, it does. I mean,
and I know somebody did that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't me.
Yeah.
And, who do you really owe a lot to? I know that doesn't go over well in the intersectionality of, transgender diaspora courses, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth. It's the people who, starting with the guy who figured out fire, Made a big difference.
Made a big difference.
I mean, Yuval Harari in his *Sapiens* says, when there was fire, then we can cook food. So we didn't need quite as large an intestine to kill all the parasites.
Yeah, exactly right.
So a lot of the evolution went to our brain, and that's why I have such a big brain.
So the question now, like this is what I was trying to raise before. If every era has offered up a framework to try to solve reality, like what is the riddle of existence in this moment that speaks to our technological abilities, to our place in time as a species? What is the proposition for this moment?
Well, first of all, you have to start with the idea that about, I would say at least, even now with the trend slightly moving the other direction, at least 4/5 of the planet believes this is a question we do not need to ask because they know, and it's Allah or it's Jesus, somebody like that. I mean, and for the people who, I have many religious friends, and, they present queries like, how did we get here? To which I always say, I don't know the answer to these questions as you don't, but my answer to them isn't to make up a story.
Yeah.
Their answer is to make up a story and then get fully behind it.
Yeah.
So we're only talking about, at best, at this point, 20%. Even that's probably high.
Okay, so what if
humans who even think that this is an issue because they already have the answer and it's already parked.
Okay, so what if the riddle for this existence right now was not a no but a yes and?
Explain that.
So typically ideas come to the world and it's like, my idea about reality is correct and you should subscribe to my idea of reality.
Yeah.
And then throughout history, it's kind of been this threat where it's like, and if you don't subscribe to my reality, I might kill you. Right. Right.
Right.
That's kind of the proposition we have here.
Right. Yeah.
In a very tactful way.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm asking you so politely.
Right.
And so the entirety of my efforts is attempting at putting forth a hypothesis of the riddle of existence for this time and place as a species in this part of the galaxy.
How much does it cost a year? That's what people are wanting to know.
Yeah.
Here it's an infomercial, didn't I tell you?
Yeah.
And if you'd like to live forever.
4 equal installments.
Right.
$19.99.
Right. And you throw in the hamburger maker. No, but what does it cost you a year to do the things you do?
Yeah. Well,
that a normal person or a normal salaried person, what salary would you need to do it?
80 to 90% of the benefits that I achieve can be done for $10,000 a year, including groceries. That includes food.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me more.
It's very, very low cost. It's very low cost.
So there's something exotic like a hyperbaric chamber?
I mean, you can add that, but that's an additive thing.
Do you do it?
I just finished my first hyperbaric cycling. I did 60 sessions in 90 days.
Sessions?
Yeah. So the protocol is I got the chamber at my house because you spend 4,500 minutes in the chamber over 90 days. So it's over 70 hours.
How much is that per day?
It's roughly 90 minutes per day, thereabouts.
What are you doing there?
My chamber allows me to have 21% oxygen, so it's just like the atmosphere, so I can work. I can just do. Yeah, I have a mask on my face where I'm breathing 100% oxygen.
Oh.
But outside of that, I can just work. So I just fit it in my routine.
Oxygen inside the chamber. It couldn't explode, could it? Because that would be ironic.
Yeah. I know. I definitely thought through it. Definitely crossed my mind.
Because I think oxygen is very highly flammable.
Yeah.
Is it not?
In some chambers, they fill the whole chamber with 100% oxygen. So in that case, you light it, you're ablaze. But in this chamber, you're just breathing the oxygen. And so the chamber itself is 21% oxygen. So
but no smoking in there.
Yeah. I mean, Bill, if you came over, would we make it an exception?
But this is what Michael Jackson had one of these.
Did he do it?
Yeah. You don't remember that?
No, I didn't.
Oh. Well, yeah, that was like back before he was known for, with the kids.
Yeah.
He was known for kooky things like having a pet monkey and, sleeping in a hyperbaric chamber. That's where I heard about the hyperbaric chamber originally, and I've heard about it. I'm not asking you because somebody recently suggested it to me, and I'm like, I'm open to anything.
Yeah. Yes, we just completed. I did 4,005, so over 70 hours in 90 days. I measured about 50 things before for baseline measurements. I just started the 50 thing measurement today. So I'll have the data in 2 or 3 weeks. And
what are you expecting the data to say? Did you actually feel different, or it would all be just in the data?
The only thing I saw was my skin improved significantly.
Really?
Yeah, like the data.
Your skin improved significantly.
The data shows. So like the way it works is you sit in the chamber, and normally when you breathe in oxygen, your blood cells take oxygen throughout your body, but it's very hard for oxygen to penetrate deep into the plasma and the tissues. So in the oxygen chamber, you're getting 10 to 15 times the concentration of oxygen throughout your entire body. When that gets to skin, it increases collagen production, it increases elastin fibers, it reduces senescent cells, like dead cells. So it's actually the most effective skin rejuvenation therapy in the world.
My friend told me that there's 2 kinds. One is just like the thing I saw Michael have, which was, just like a chamber, like it's like a casket, quite frankly.
Yeah.
You just lie in it.
Yeah.
But there's ones now that are bigger.
Yes.
That like you can sit in there. Is that the one you have?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like I have a chair just like this, and it has a hard shell, so I can sit and work in comfort. And then, when you're laying down, that's kind of tough. You get sleepy, and it's hard to hold a phone or something. Actually, you don't want a phone because they're going to stream oxygen. But yeah, this one was very functional. But I'm very intrigued by it because the data shows it lowers inflammation. It eliminates like up to 40% of senescent cells, so cells that die in your body and they just accumulate, and then when they hang on the body, they're emitting all these bad chemicals, these cytokines that create all these bad effects.
Right.
It increases VO2 max, your cardiovascular ability. It increases oxygen muscle perfusion. Like the list is very, very long. So we'll see. Like that's why I did.
No, I'm intrigued because when my friend was telling me about it, I remember thinking, when did Michael Jackson ever make a bad decision? I think that this is probably, especially in the area of health.
The gold standard. Yeah.
I'm going to call my doctor, Dr. Conrad Murray.
Yeah. So you want to be careful because if you look at the curves, you can have oxygen toxicity to your central nervous system after about 2 hours.
Oh.
So you really have to follow a evidence-based protocol. You don't want to go out there and just wing it. So, definitely don't want to do that.
Can I call you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I'll get you the whole thing set up. Yeah.
You like me now, right?
Yeah. Well, because I'm saying okay, here's a statement for you. I am the healthiest person on planet Earth.
I'll believe it.
Yeah, I have the best comprehensive biomarkers of anybody. Not just that's 47-year-olds.
Bro, you earned it.
Anybody in the world.
You go to bed at 8:30, and you're in the chamber, and I don't doubt it for a second.
Yeah,
and it makes sense. I mean, who's doing more than you?
Exactly. And so this and
it doesn't impede your just sense of happiness that you spend so much time. Again, we were talking about trade-offs, the present for the future.
Yeah.
Here's a piece of cake on the table. It would feel really good in the present, eat that piece of cake.
Yeah.
Or the future is, it'll make me fat and it's sugar. Me, I never go for the cake.
Yeah. Why?
That's one thing, because it's easy for me to refuse that one.
Yeah.
This, no.
Yeah.
I like getting high.
So tell me about this. What does this do for you?
Liquor or pot?
Either one, both. Like tonight, what to do?
You never got high when you were a kid?
Yes, I have. But I'm saying, why do you, what does this do for you? Why do you choose it?
Feel good.
Yeah.
Drugs make you feel good. I hate to let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah.
But, that's why people do them. That's why they're popular. That's why people get addicted to them. I'm lucky I don't have an addictive personality.
Yeah.
I do what I do when I want to do it. It doesn't, cigarettes are different. Cocaine is different. It says, do me now. No, I'm not asking. That's not where I am with liquor and pot. I don't think about liquor from one end of the week to the other.
How do you think you'll feel tomorrow?
fine, because I'm only having a 1.5. So if I have 1.5 drinks,
Yeah.
my body can handle that. Now, may there come a day when I would feel that? No, but I know what I'll feel. I mean, trust me, I have had terrible nights where I drank way too much.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had to be picked up off that driveway you came in. Literally picked up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not proud of it, and it was not that
well,
long.
At least you're honest about it.
Yes. No. Being drunk is fun.
Yeah. So yeah. I totally agree with you. Like that these things, they create this window of time that is pleasurable. Agreed. I'm with you.
Yeah.
It's the follow-on consequence that
you're saying this like it's news.
It's
of course.
Okay, so here's like this is what people find so.
We're just making a different decision about past versus future, and we're making a different bet. It's all about placing a bet.
It is.
I'm placing a bet that if I do something very uncertain about the outcome in the future, like sacrificing my whole life for the possibility of ultimate longevity, there's a very good chance at some point life is going to go. You thought you could outsmart me? And that's hysterical. That's hysterical with all the times I've shown you can't. So I'm just going to live now.
Yeah.
I'm going to live in the moment, Brian.
Yeah.
I'm in the moment right now. Yeah. That's why I love doing this show.
Yeah.
That's why I love doing it high.
Yeah.
There's a good answer to your question. I'm more in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not thinking about anything else. We've had a rough week out here.
Yeah.
With the fires.
I was thinking about that, like driving in.
Rough.
Yeah.
Rough shit. And then as I'm going back to work, which I'm glad because I need to vent about this fire shit on Friday.
Yeah.
And luckily I have that. Most people don't have a place to vent as much. Although I guess they all do with the internet now. But rough, I need a drink.
Yeah.
I was really looking forward to this, really looking forward to talking to you. I mean, life, I want to live it. I love the things that I love about my life, like this thing. I mean, the fact that people like you, really interesting people with a lot to say and come over here once a week and talk to me, what a privilege, what a lucky thing that is.
Mm-hmm.
I never lose sight of how lucky I am or the things that I have.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying this to Harvey on the TMZ thing today. When people say, well, it's horrible when you lose your house in a fire, but it's just things. Yeah, yes and no. It's things that mean the world to me. Nothing material. I don't have jewelry. I don't have cars. I don't have any of that bullshit. Expensive art, but the art I have all has sentimental value.
Mm-hmm.
It's cheap or not expensive anyway, but it means the world to me. And to lose it, and my clothes and my, my record collection, and this is the accumulation of a lifetime. Everything has great meaning to me. I wouldn't get over that by just going, well, it's just material things. Yeah, I'm more glad I'm not one of the things dead, but it's not just things. Sorry, I guess I'm not a Buddhist with no possessions and, but things, I'm connected to them. Especially everything in this room. Gilbert Gottfried did this.
Yeah, I saw. I imagine.
I mean, I did this when I was 11. I wallpapered my room with this, cutting these things out of, obviously, a time when most of the magazines were in black and white. I mean, that sign was behind me on Politically Incorrect for 9 years, my first television show. I mean, made me the man I am today. Yeah, these are things that would make me very sad if I lost. So I'm against fire.
Yeah.
Where were you in the fire?
I'm down the street. So yeah. So I'm on West Side.
Is that right?
Yeah. So I wasn't. I mean, right here, like you are.
Well,
minutes away.
Well, we don't need to say where, but yeah.
Yeah. Right. I mean, but you're.
But who wasn't? I had people people from the Altadena fire, friends who live in Pasadena, who said, can I come and stay in your guest house tonight? Of course. They came. And then the next day, dude, we all got to go now.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I had friends calling, like, can I come over? Come on over. Like,
yeah.
Everyone's succeedingly getting kicked out. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, nowhere to live.
Yeah.
Nowhere to live.
It was a pretty insane moment. Like you had no idea how to even think about the situation. Like that kind of destruction rolling through an urban environment, like you just wouldn't even imagine it would just bulldoze. You see, you think fires in the mountains, sure, but like just burning entire towns that you wouldn't associate with hills.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even start because I'll wind up talking for 10 minutes on it because it's all that's in my head right now. And I don't want to do that because I'm enjoying this so much. And I'm going to assume that we are going to live past this moment. And when we do, I do want to keep living. I mean, that's another thing that I love is California with all its craziness.
Yeah.
And boy, there is a lot of craziness. And this city, which has been my home for 42 years. I moved here in 1983. I'm dug in. You know, I looked at moving once to Miami when we had fires in 2020 and I could not see the sun for a week, blotted out. Okay, I was like, I'm not going to live like this. But you know what? When you're my age and you've been here this long,
Yeah.
sorry.
Driving here, I wondered what your mindset would be, whether you were going to dig in or whether you were saying.
At this age, wherever I moved in the world, I'd always be thinking, when am I going to get to go home? To my home. And, you know, this is my home. The first night when they made us leave, I did. Second night was like, well, you should. And I didn't. I was like, know what? I'm going to defend this house. Because I saw somebody, a friend of mine, who did that with a hose.
And he won.
Won.
Yeah. He actually stopped the fire.
Well, yeah, you see it often where like every house on the block is burned down except for one. Yeah, because that guy got up on the roof.
Yeah.
With a hose. Yeah. And I said, I'm going to do that, you know? And it, you know, look, I'm not going to die in a fire, I hope. But yeah, I think that's where we're going to have to be, is that they can't be everywhere. Now, I have my issues with how the government handled this, and that's what I'm going to talk about Friday night. But no, I mean, people are going to have to do a little bit of it. It's just almost analogous to the doctor thing. Yeah. Like, I'm just going to not take notes about my life. Nah, why do I have to take notes? Well, let the doctor decide. I mean, I went to doctors sometimes, like somebody would recommend somebody about something, and I would go, and the doctor would have no knowledge of my history and start making all sorts of pronouncements, and I'd be like, you don't know me. I know me. Because I can look up, because you forget unless you write it down. Yeah. But I can look up, oh no, that's right, I had a UTI in 1995.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also something like you don't really know it about yourself, but when your life is in danger and you're there having to make the decision, are you going to pick up the hose and defend your house at the risk of your life, or are you going to bail? Like, it's very hard to imagine that moment and make a decision, but like,
well, I think you can do both. Final stand. I think you can defend your house and then get out. You know?
I mean, it's pretty tough in here. Right, like the roads are pretty clogged. It's not a clear path out. If fire, so it's like it's not that clean. Like it may sweep faster than you can move.
Yes, so like, and it can.
That's what I'm saying. So it is not, you don't know.
Yeah.
And so
you don't
know. You're going to make a stand.
Right.
But that, like, there's a possibility you're going to get burnt alive.
There is. Or die of smoke inhalation.
Yeah.
I mean, you can jump in your pool, but the smoke will probably still kill you. Anyway, great talking to you. We got to have dinner sometime. Well, yeah, it's
so yeah. So this is the my hypothesis is that the next major global ideology is don't die.
It hasn't always been.
Exactly right. Don't die has always been the pitch of humanity. And so it's be professionally epic and your reputation won't die. It's have kids and you won't die via your lineage. It's obey these commandments and have an afterlife. It's, go through this. So every pitch has been do this, don't die. And the contemplation right now is this is the first time in the history of the human race where the actual do this, don't die is here. And that the thing is, that is a yes and. You can be Christian and say yes to this new ideology. You can believe in an afterlife. That's fine. Nobody wants to die right now. And the reason why it's so elegant is don't die is the only framework that begins with the laws of physics, with entropy, and walks up through math and computation and biology and memetics and narratives. It is the only thing. So typically, capitalism says we're going to have this economic structure. Democracy says we're going to run society this way. Religions say do this, you get this afterlife or whatever the prize is. Nothing plays full stack from physics through memetics. Nothing plays through the computational and mathematical realities of this universe.
What's memetics?
Like memes. Like it's just like we evolved the species through memes, through these ideas, narrative stories.
Government is an idea.
Exactly. So this
what was the rationale for selling government? Because it's fairly recent. Why were people willing to give up so much, what you have to do in government, rights, money, taxes?
Yeah.
Why? What was government selling? I'm asking you.
I mean,
you don't die. That's it. That's the original function of government, protection.
It's true.
You're a serf. Barbarians are coming.
Yeah.
Work the land, and when they come, you can get behind the castle wall.
Yeah.
We'll pull up the drawbridge. You'll be inside.
That's true.
I mean,
it is.
It's still.
It's subscribe this and don't die.
It's still. That's why we give so much money, because I can't build a cruise missile or a nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
And I mean, Russia and China and Iran or North Korea, these are not our friends. And we do need, we need some defense. I think we spend way too much money on it, and also crime. I can't fund my own police force and my own fire department, although people do have private fire departments. But that is the function of government.
Yeah.
And that, again, not to get on this fire thing, but that I think is what people are looking here in Los Angeles now and saying, well, that's what the Democrats forget. The basic function of government. They're so into their boutique issues that they forget about the bread and butter of what government is supposed to do. Protect you from crime and violence and fucking fire.
Don't die.
Don't die. We like living. I mean, people,
I mean, you gave an impassioned speech on what you love about life. I mean, why you love to get high and why you like to drink. And I honestly, no, I'm serious. I think it's a beautiful expression that you love to exist.
Yeah.
Like you want all the experiences that consciousness has to offer you.
I wouldn't. If I was born 5,000 years ago, I would be a Buddhist. I get why it sold men, because life sucked. So let's not feel anything. But that's not the case now. Life's good. There's porn on my phone. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to die and have it all burned up.
Yeah.
I want to sit here and keep smoking and talking.
Yeah.
And having a good time. I mean, not 3-hour erections. Not that good, but I mean, so what do you do all day? You like what's like the like what's your happy hour for you where you can just not do anything that's like helping your health? Because you got to have some time when you're just enjoying the fruits.
Yeah.
What's that like? Where is that in the day? You must get up super early if you go to bed at 8:30.
Yes, that's right.
And that's because we're solar creatures and you want yourself aligned to the sun. I get all that.
Yeah. Well, I also just love the mornings. No one's there to bother me.
I do too.
So I
just can't have both.
I have 6 hours where nothing happens except for what I want to happen. And it's like my favorite part of the entire day. But I mean, for fun, my son and I do a lot of stuff. So my 19-year-old is my best friend.
Oh, wow.
We do everything together.
Like what?
We go biking, we play pickleball, we do these
basketball?
Great trips. Yeah, we play basketball.
Oh, come over here for basketball.
Yeah,
I have
great.
a court.
We're very active and
right.
Yeah.
Oh, that must be joyous for you to have your offspring be, and of course when you go out, the chicks go, you guys must be brothers.
Well, so
funny you should mention that.
So yes, they do. They do.
Come on.
I'm telling you, I promise. Also,
Wow.
Also, they say, how long have you guys been together?
Oh, because they think you're gay?
Yeah, yeah. And we say, just like 6 months.
No, you should say 19 years.
Yeah. No,
Let them figure it out.
It is, yeah. No, but people, we get the gay thing so frequently.
So it sounds like you're in bars a lot. Where do you meet these women who are confused?
He's such a cool guy. We get along so well. We have so much fun together. We've never been in a fight in our entire lives. We've never had a disagreement.
Is that healthy for a parent? Because doesn't a parent have to be not a friend, but the person who tells you what's up and what's right from wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, the kid was never wrong about anything that you had to straighten him out?
Yeah. He has exercised really good judgment.
Okay.
And I have a very light hand. I mean, he has all the freedom to do everything he wants to do. And every time he encounters a sticky situation, like, okay, I've got this thing. What do I do? And I say, okay, here's a few ways to think about the situation.
Right. No, you definitely sound like the ultimate cool dad.
Yeah, it's like, it surprises me. I never imagined, like, I had a father, like that certain thing, like, whatever happened there, but I never had a model in my mind of what my son and I would do. Like, I had a typical detached father. You grow up and it's like this, you don't really speak much to each other and just kind of are present in the moment, but never.
That's what your father relationship was like?
So my father had troubles when I was younger, right? He was doing drugs and he had some professional challenges, and so I didn't really see him very much.
Right.
So, but like, like that kind of stuff happens. But I never imagined that I never had there was no parent-child relationship that I saw that was like what my son and I have.
I mean, what about children in the future? I mean, your sperm must be like healthier than Jack LaLanne.
Yeah. So we quantify my sperm. So I
wait. What about your sperm?
Yeah. I mean,
we measured it. We must have studied the fuck out of it. I mean, everything else, right?
Yeah.
What's going on in your sperm?
Yeah, I've
knock me over.
Yeah. So I mean, I did have the most measured penis in the world, as you might expect, and which includes
it's different than the best measured penis, but okay.
So I'll tell you a few measurements we've done. So like when you want to quantify your penis, like there's a checklist.
Keep talking, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, sperm is one thing you want to measure. Is you want to find motility, you want to find counts, you want to find ejaculate volume, and you want to make sure those things are doing well. It's like,
well,
yeah.
I actually, I'd be very happy if they weren't doing well, because the last thing I'd want to do is have a baby.
Yeah.
Not that I take any risks, but
yeah.
I mean, I'd be thrilled if my sperm were like, nope, we're not in the game anymore.
So we're testing right now. So there's a friend of mine who set up this scientific experiment where he has sperm race each other. So you can take two people's sperm, put them adjacent to each other, and then you give them a biochemical signal to like come this way, and you can have the sperm compete to see whose sperm is more robust in seeking out the
brings a whole new meaning to beating off, huh?
Right.
So and it's good the faster.
Yeah, you want robust sperm abilities. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying, that the levels of quantification, like once you actually get deep into the body, you can see all these biological functions and the cause and effect relationships. It just helps you think about yourself and the world very differently. You just see these patterns that otherwise hide.
So if you ever do want to have a kid again, I bet you could almost pick the date of birth and make it happen, right? Because you would know, like, she's ovulating, you'd have all the data,
exactly.
and my erections are like even more. By the way, here's a question for you. Does the full moon affect your erections?
Oh, we haven't measured that. That's a good question.
I think it does.
We have not included
I think it does. I think
lunar cycles.
Men have cycles too.
That's a good question. We have the data. We could look at it.
And what is your guess?
No idea.
No idea. But you do admit that men have cycles, just like women, to a degree. Like anytime you have blood tests or anything done, it's a snapshot. Now, you do a snapshot like on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Like most people do it once a year.
Yeah, some things are snapshots, some things are stable. So it depends on what you're measuring. Like some things fluctuate throughout the day.
They
some
do.
fluctuate. But some are very stable.
Like what?
Like your HbA1c, like your measurement of your blood glucose, right? That's a composite measure over a certain duration of time. That's not going to fluctuate day to day. Whereas, your cortisol levels, dependent upon stress, can have
Right.
broader fluctuations.
Right. That's the one that, for example, when you get up in the morning, as soon as you get light in your eye.
Why do you cut that?
So because I'm a health nut, Brian.
Yeah. So I'm unfamiliar. So basically, you smoke it, and then the ash.
I cut this because I'm a moil professionally. I just do comedy in my spare time. No, so you don't smoke ash.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. And you can't tap it out. You've got to cut it because the paper's partially burned.
Why, if I have a scissor right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, again, my life is an amalgamation of the things I did bad and the things I did good.
Yeah.
Now, it's almost like a mortgage where at the beginning you're paying all interest and then by the end you're paying, right? It's like that. At the beginning I was doing all bad.
Yeah.
I was drinking and I mean, cocaine, just everything.
Yeah.
And not enough sleep. And I used to get sick way more than I do now.
Mm-hmm.
Because as I learned and of course your body allows you to do less as you get older, but I live much healthier than I do. I mean, you're seeing me at my unhealthiest right now.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the unhealthiest thing I do.
What life lessons would you share with me?
Well, again, like the things you asked me that I do that are nutty with the garlic and blah, 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 and the trampoline. 2 meals a day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why people have 3.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it feels good, but they should know that that's just made up.
Mm.
I mean, somebody pulled that right out of their ass. I'm not saying it can't work for you, but like for most of my life, it was just locked in my head. Of course, you have 3 meals a day. I would sometimes force myself to have 3 meals. It's like, what the fuck? And finally, I was like, it's one of those things again. Why didn't I think of this when I was younger?
Yeah.
Because you didn't. I just didn't. But I wish I had, because you don't need 3. Now, coffee, what do you think about coffee?
It's great.
Oh, good. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Because because some people are anti-coffee.
Why?
Because it's acidic.
Yeah.
But
there's anti-people for everything.
Exactly. There's people who hate you for no reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? Like you're Luigi.
Yeah.
Or the you're the health guy that Luigi shot. You're the bad guy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. What else?
But so you have, when do you have coffee? But see, there's cortisol. Like you shouldn't have coffee right away in the day. Like people have the first thing, I have a cup of coffee. Yeah. No, because your cortisol levels spike as soon as you get up.
That's right.
It's the last time you need, the least time you need coffee in the day.
Yeah.
Wait an hour.
That's right.
And then, that's one reason why it's easy for me to only have 2 meals a day, because I do intermittent fasting with the aid of coffee.
Yeah.
It's not really a goal, but I hear it's good. You think intermittent fasting is helpful?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, there's also been reports recently. Of course, there is always revisionism. Somebody's always going to go, oh, they like this now?
Yeah.
You think eggs are good?
Yeah.
Oh, well, wait till you read about mine.
Yeah.
And then 2 months later, no, they are good again. But intermittent fasting, I think I go by common sense. Like, to me, common sense is give your digestive system a rest.
Yeah.
I fast a couple of times a year. 5-day fast.
Mm-hmm.
Not a complete fast. It's a kit they give you, that Prolon.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're aware of it.
Yeah.
I can't get through a real one, but this one, as they say, it's the
amazing?
fasting mimicking.
You pay them to not eat. Isn't that amazing?
But as long as it gets me through it, it's psychological. Like, at 4:30, I can have an olive.
Recently,
but it's something.
I recently tested. So I've been measuring. There's this technology called DNA methylation, where it measures how fast your body ages. So there's chemical patterns inside of you, like there's rings on a tree. And so I've been doing this measurement for the past couple of years. And recently I did a 3-day fast, and it actually increased my speed of aging. So it didn't actually help me. And so we actually
Really?
were kind of, so
the fast
didn't help me. So, but we were hypothesizing that basically my daily routine.
But that's a snapshot again, isn't it? Is that long term?
We do such high frequency measurement. It's definitely responsive to that therapy. But it was interesting because my body is in a fasted like state almost all the time.
Right.
And so to doing that therapy, so for most people it probably would work. For me, it didn't. It actually backfired.
Look, I hate doing it. Give me a reason not to do it, and I'll do it. But one great thing that was an outcome of fasting is that it makes having 2 meals a day easy. Like after you've fasted and like basically had nothing for 5 days, the idea that I'm not going to really eat until 4 in the afternoon, of course I get up at 11, is easy.
Yeah.
At least I'm going to eat something. It's all relative and it's in your mind.
Exactly.
So how many meals do you eat a day?
So it depends. 2 to 3. Yeah.
What's your routine? You get up?
My first meal of the day is at 6 a.m., but it's not really a meal. I eat exactly 2,250 calories. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Every single calorie fights for its life. Every single calorie is tested extensively.
And what's in these calories? What are we talking about? What's the food?
Primarily, it's vegetables, legumes, berries, nuts, seeds, extra virgin olive oil.
In a shake, you're talking about?
Oh, so in the morning, it's a protein shake. And then next meal is broccoli, cauliflower, black lentils, hemp seeds, ginger, garlic. Next meal is macadamia nuts, walnuts, flaxseed, berries. And then the next meal is like some berries, nuts, seeds, legumes.
See, I eat all these things.
Yeah.
But not as full meals.
Yeah.
I mean, that's quite, so you're a vegetarian.
I'm a plant-based, yeah.
Plant-based. Okay. Ooh, that's rough. And you never have a fish? You never have, no. So, and no bread, like me?
No bread.
Okay.
Yeah, once you apply the filter that every calorie has to fight for its life, you have to say, like, go to the edge of the science. What has the highest evidence threshold for what actually has the highest impact in the body? It's a really cool exercise.
Oh, I'm sure it's true. And I'm sure you're right. Again, it's the trade-off issue.
Like, and so
I'm just not going to do it.
It's like, but also, my way is not the only way, right? It's one way, and other people can do their thing. So if you're going to eat meat, great. Like, do meat. Like, do your thing. That's fine.
General assessment is that you are going to look, at my age, slightly younger than I do. And you are going to live slightly more unless you're hit by a bus, which, as you said, could be. So, to me, is it worth it? No. Because it would just, I feel like I'm making a very reasonable amount of sacrifices. I do a lot of things. Sometimes I forget what I do because you accumulate them over time and you incorporate them into your life. And then, oh yeah, I do make green tea and this tea every,
So, the thing, Bill, is I don't disagree with what you said. And here's what I would say for clarification. I'm not doing this for lifespan. I'm doing this because I am an ideology.
You are an ideology.
I am an ideology.
And if I Wikipedia that ideology, what would it say?
Don't die.
Don't die. Right.
Here's the question. Like, if God wakes up one day, what is the first thing God does?
See if he's still 6'2", because as you age, sometimes you shrink a little, and you don't want to be on Kolob and be like 6'1".
Yeah.
You want to be 6'2".
Yeah.
No, I mean, you believe in God.
No, whether you believe in God or not, God is a representation of omnipotence, right? It's whether you believe in God or not, doesn't matter. No. It's a concept to say the most supreme form of intelligence that can exist in our minds.
Right.
What does that most supreme form of intelligence do when it wakes up and it's God? What does it do?
I don't know. I'll ask Elon. No, first of all, it doesn't wake up. I mean, you're positing human traits to something.
But when it's just like go with me with a thought experiment. Just imagine it wakes up. Like, what does it do? What does omnipotent intelligence do?
Check its email. Like we all do first thing. I mean,
you do that? Do you check your email? Do you wake up? You don't?
Not first thing.
Is your phone next to your bed?
Only because to turn off the alarm.
So you set an alarm?
Well, the alarm on the house.
Oh, I see.
No, I wake up naturally.
Yeah.
I think that's something most people don't do.
I agree with you. I hate the alarm.
Well, you need to get the full complement of sleep.
Yeah.
Most of the good sleep, am I right, comes in the last couple of hours.
Well, both, early and late.
Early and late.
Yeah. You have your deep window. So when you go to sleep, your deep sleep happens in the first 2 to 3 hours, and that's
Oh, that makes sense because I sleep for like 2-3 hours and then wake up.
Yeah, so that's the deeply restorative sleep. Cleans the brain. So you don't want to miss deep. It's really important for brain health.
Right. Well, it's hard to miss that one if you get any sleep because that's the first 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, and if you miss your bedtime, you don't make it up later in the night. That time is gone and your deep is gone.
Well, your bedtime is when you go to sleep.
Sure, but so whether your bedtime is like a 2-hour window or a 30-minute window or whatever, your body has some kind of circadian rhythm, and it's going to allocate some amount of resources to say deep is this window. So if you miss, like if your normal bedtime is between 10 and 12 or something, and you go to bed at 2, you've missed it.
What if your normal bedtime is 2?
Yeah,
let's just say a random example.
Yeah, random. Yeah, asking for a friend. So
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, you're so long as you're on a rhythm, the rhythm happens every night.
So you're not on the page that many holistic people are, that the healing happens between 10 and 2, and that you have to sleep to be healthy, like in the morning with the sun, and sort of wake up with the sun.
I mean,
because I can find no evidence of that.
Exactly. So I don't care what anybody says. Like, show me the data, or it doesn't exist.
Exactly, and there is no data.
So the only study I saw recently was that there was something like a 60% chance of increased diabetes for those that didn't get half their restorative sleep before 4 a.m. So there's it seems like you can go to bed anytime you want, but it gets too early in the morning, too late at night, too early in the morning. There's some point in time where it crosses a threshold. So yeah, I think there's some window that's the body just can't push too much. Then you get into night shift mode. And
last time I had a conversation with Quincy Jones, he told me what time he goes to bed. You know what time he goes to bed?
What time?
9:30.
At night, in the morning.
AM.
Wow, that's such a weird bedtime. Why? What?
He's Quincy Jones. He could do whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
Because he was cool.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. Are you kidding? Nature was like, we don't dare fuck with that.
Yeah.
9:30 exactly.
Yeah.
Because he was still having a good time at 7, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird. Almost like you get the sunrise, you get the first early hours in the morning, and then it's back.
Well, I sleep, and that is very helpful to me. Okay, so I got my restorative sleep. And then my problem is it takes me an hour to get back to sleep.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'll tell you. So if you're interested, I recorded the best sleep score on record.
The best what?
Sleep score on record.
They score it?
Yeah. So through a wearable. So you can actually you can measure everything. So I have 8 months of perfect sleep. So by wearable standards, what is deep? What is REM? How long to go to sleep? How much?
Now, is this the thing on your dick that measures it? No, is it?
No, it's different.
Oh, it's different. Yeah. Where's this one?
This one's here.
Okay, so you wear something on your dick and something on your wrist.
Exactly.
Anything else? Any other apparatus while you're sleeping?
My bed is full of sensors.
Full of sensors, right? Does it? If you have a partner in bed, does it measure them too? Does it confuse?
Yeah, but
it does.
Yes, but I never sleep with partners in bed.
For health reasons?
Yes.
Why? Because they kick?
Yeah, that's right.
Really?
Yeah, because
they could have disturbed your sleep.
They're
bitches.
They're
chicks always kicking, fucking disturbing sleep. No, really.
They're a variable in a control experiment.
It's true. You got to find a chick who can sleep like a log. That's the secret of life.
It's very disruptive.
It is very disruptive.
Right?
Oh, there are plenty of people who sleep next to a snoring machine.
I know.
My mother did, like really loud.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's
crazy.
It's so normalized, nobody can see it.
Right.
It's insane.
So, okay, bitch, be gone. I got to get my sleep.
Yeah. I mean, I've had this conversation, and sometimes it's tough, right? When I go on a date with someone,
right,
I'll say, I'm just going to be upfront and tell you the 10 reasons why you're going to hate me at exactly 8 months.
Oh, you're a billionaire. I don't think you need to go into that. I think you're fine. But what restaurant serves seeds and legumes. Just what I'm saying. When you go out to the polo lounge, like, are the leaves fresh tonight?
Yeah, I really try to not be a dick.
But how do you go on a date when you eat like this?
Yeah, I'll try to find the most low-key path to not be a dick. So I'll see the menu, like the menu shit. So I see something like, can I get these steamed vegetables, like these broccolis and carrots?
Right.
And like, yeah, sure, we can just whip it up.
Right.
Great. And so then I'll just nibble. Like I won't eat a lot, but I just don't want to.
Because you never know what they're doing in the kitchen.
You don't. I don't. So all right, Bill,
it's true.
I don't trust. I've now tested, because when we were doing this, I began testing every single thing, every single pill I took, every single food I ate. We test for heavy metals, for mycotoxins, for agrochemicals. Like we tested everything. You know, we found like the global food supply is terrifyingly dirty.
Oh,
like I know it's dirty.
Of course,
it is bad.
And that's the good food. That's not even. You're not even talking about the stuff that we know is shit, like fast food.
Totally,
that we know.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah. So now I cannot go to the store now and buy food. I just know too much. I've seen it.
Not even Air One?
No, there is no safe place.
No, there isn't. But there isn't any safe place. You're breathing air.
Exactly.
In California.
Yeah.
So, Brian, you're never really going to be at that place where you want to be.
Except for my house has perfect air. I have an air filter in every room.
But you have to go outside, too, to be healthy, don't you?
Yeah.
Sunshine. There's another one that I do. Like one of those things that I didn't used to do, like make sure I get like 20 minutes at least, excite my vitamin D.
I'm with you.
Okay. Yeah. Things like that.
Yeah, I mean,
I do a lot of good things for me. I did a lot of bad things. I do a few bad now, but I don't want to give up going to a restaurant. I'm sophisticated. I can't be fucking eating legumes. Yeah. Are you kidding?
What are you going to order? So pull up the menu. What are your eyes?
That's the thing. It's like, I don't like fancy restaurants, which I like the atmosphere, but not the food.
Yeah. Why?
If I'm actually going to eat shit food, I'd rather go to Mel's and have fucking diner food, which I love.
Yeah. What would you do? Like burger, steak, fries?
Yeah, I can have a burger.
Yeah.
You know, I'll probably take off the bun.
Yeah.
So
you got standards.
Yeah, I have hopes and dreams, Brian. I have hopes and dreams. All right, that's all.
So hamburger bun off.
I'll try to do, fish. Yeah. But, I will always joke with the waiter, like, if you think that that's a bass, go ahead. but just between you and me, bro, they don't know what the fuck it is.
No one knows.
They caught something down there, and they're thankful anything is still alive down there. Yeah. So there's no such thing as Chilean bee bass. There isn't. We actually made it up, and we drove it to extinction. I love that.
It's so
we
true.
made up and fish,
so
and then drove it to extinction.
No one knows. That's so true.
But, it's fish. Yeah. I mean, everything's polluted.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
When I was packing the bag to bug out of here when the fire came, I don't normally have tuna because it's full of mercury.
Yeah.
But am I going to starve
canned tuna
there with the zombies?
Yeah.
Or am I going to have the tuna? I'm going to have the tuna, Brian.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay.
I understand that. Hey, you get it. Yeah.
There's a fire. And tuna is
pull it out.
Yeah. So I'm aware of all these things, but you can't. I mean, we're breathing. You have to get somehow from my house to your house.
Yeah.
You're going to breathe some air.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't. And I just wonder how much at the end of the day, all the things you're doing, you stack it up against, some Italian dude who smokes all day, but he's got this great attitude and he's married 70 years, but he still loves his wife so much and the kids and he plays bocce. And, it's just, I just think it's all to your point, we don't know. And yet, there's an essential contradiction really in your thinking that on the one hand, we don't know and it's all a mystery, but somehow I'm going to go by the data and I'm going to get to the right, maybe.
Yeah.
I get why you're doing it.
Yeah.
I admire it. I wish I had that discipline.
Yeah. You know what God does?
Laughs at us.
He doesn't die. The first thing he does is he secures his existence. He doesn't say, how do I get high? How do I get drunk? He secures his existence. That is the most intelligent expression. And then he says, or not he, then whatever form it says, what is the available energy accessible to me in this universe? Like what do I have to deal with? Like how many stars are there? What's the energy capacity? What can I harness? What is entropy? Like what's the burn rate of this energy process? He's assessing what is the battery life of the universe. So don't die, then battery life of the universe. That's what he says very first.
It sounds like when you left Mormonism, you didn't quite leave the God thing totally behind, Brian.
But you know what they did?
I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying God comes up a lot.
But you know what they did really cool is Mormonism, for all the flaws of that religion, there's many positive things about it. They really went after this philosophical question of what is intelligence? Like, what can you expect of intelligence, and what is the expression of intelligence? I really appreciate it. And so if I say, okay, I have desires as an intelligent being, but if I were to rate, what are the quality of my desires? What's the quality of my intelligence? It's primitive relative to this higher level. Yeah. And so I say to myself that every manifestation of my intelligence right now is primitive because it's inferior to this ultimate expression that you just don't want to die. And the other side, like once you say that, people are, but wait, what are we gonna do? Everyone, like, it's so bored. Like everyone's gonna die. I don't want to. It's the same fucking arguments every single time. And the point is, we are stupid as fuck. We are idiotic. We are short-termed. We can't think past wanting to get high 1 second. We can't see the unreal gift that we are conscious in this moment, and that we are about to give birth to superintelligence. Fucking insane. It is the coolest opportunity that's ever happened. And it's right here, right now in front of us.
And it could be the end of us too.
Sure. But like, this is the insanity of this opportunity is just like, we can't even comprehend it. And we cannot get past our primitive selves to like overcome these base desires. And that's what I think this ideology is in this moment. And this is why trying to explain this to humans, right? Like we are so consumed by our reality that we can't see past one step. And like I've been doing these don't die dinners at my house. I invite like 15 people over. We have a conversation and I give them 5.
What do you serve?
Well, what are the sex rituals? Like,
no, but like what are we eating at this dinner?
People love the food.
Is it your food?
All my food. And people come in, they're like, I'm suspicious.
Yeah, I'd be very curious.
It's delicious.
Invite me.
Yeah, come.
I would love to come to one of your don't die dinners.
It's a 2-hour-long conversation, and I serve up 5 thought experiments, and it's almost like a mystery dinner where 15 people are trying to solve a puzzle together. And we walk through this serpentine path, and it's deeply philosophical and practical and emotional, and you arrive at an endpoint, and it's a spectacular experience.
I was going to do ayahuasca with Aaron Rodgers, but this sounds bad.
Yeah. And honestly, it'd probably be good on it. I should initiate this conversation in ayahuasca.
Brian, I don't know why you have all these haters. I think you're great.
Thanks.
I thought this was so much fun.
What did you expect?
Very little expectations. Like I said, I may have done a couple of jokes, but as someone who's very interested in health and trying to keep it together as long as I can and feeling like I do a lot of stuff, I was very interested in someone who's like basically on that page, but just taking it to the next degree.
Yeah.
So I certainly never thought you were a nut.
Yeah.
So
Bill, I respect your love and passion for life.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Like the insatiable appetite to experience existence. And a lot of people, like my father's 72. He turned 72 today. And he also has this vivaciousness that he just loves every single day.
I mean, you can do all this stuff with the data and the legumes. And if you don't have a passion for life and you don't want to live, it'll all do no good. I really believe that. So you got to have both. But I'm glad you're out there on the front line. Coming? I barely do, by the way.
I'm a newcomer to some people. You don't know.
No. Oh, no. No, I've seen your show. It's so funny. I have to tell you, like, when you were coming over here, I was like, because they do a million jokes like on how big you are. That's like,
Right.
you know, which is funny. I love your show. It's very well written.
It is.
And you're great in it. I didn't say you could sit down.
You want to sit?
No.
Make yourself at home.
No,
This is my
but
podcast.
like, I was like, I got to see this guy because like they make all these fucking jokes. Like, is he really like insanely huge or is he just a big guy? And now I have my answer.
I'm really not.
Right, you're a big guy,
Big
but
guy.
you know, but you're not like it's like Sasquatch, you know.
Yeah.
They have those, but you know, it's big enough for the part.
I'm kept humble by people that come up to me and they're like, either you're way bigger than I thought you were, or you're not nearly as big as I thought you were. I'll get both in the same day. So
I remember I met Bruce Smith. Do you know football?
Not really.
He was like one of the best defensive ends, I guess. Played for the Buffalo Bills, who went to the Super Bowl like 4 years in a row. Never won it, sadly, for them. But they were great, and he was like one of the best defensive players ever. And I met him, I was like, oh, wow, he's not that big.
Right.
You know, he's just good.
Right, yeah.
And,
Yeah, there was a huge asterisk by this. This is, I was never supposed to be a Reacher. They were trying very hard to find somebody who fit that iconic 6'5", 250-pound frame.
What are you?
I'm 6'3", and I was 205 pounds. I was like a marathon runner. I was like a jockey when I booked this thing, when they came at me. And so I had to put on weight for this role.
It's hysterical to me that they cast in the movie Tom Cruise, who is known for using an apple box.
Oh, really?
If he's if he's in a scene with his kids, you know, he's like known to be a shrimp a little bit, you know, on the short side. And not that I'm very tall, but I think I'm taller than him.
But if you've written 10 books and you have the biggest star ever saying they want to play your character, like you'd make a couple concessions. You bring out the apple box.
It didn't bother me one bit. I'd never heard of the book. Not a book I would read. Still haven't, and I don't need to. Now I have the show.
Yeah.
You know, and I enjoyed the Tom Cruise movies. Tom Cruise is, you know, obviously the most reliable movie star. Like, I can't think of a movie of his that bored me.
None.
None.
Never.
And many,
including the Reacher films.
Including the Reacher films.
Yeah.
It didn't bother. I didn't give a shit. It's a kick-ass movie. I mean, he's not really, you know, maiming these people.
Right.
It's just good fun. And, you know, and everything you build around the action is important. I'm telling you, your show, I don't know who writes it, but they did a hell of a good job.
Thank you. They do a good job. We got there's a room, there's a writer's room. Nick Santora, I would give credit for that. He's just incredibly talented. And has captured the tone and the levity of Reacher perfectly. So
That's in the books?
Totally. I couldn't believe how funny the books were when I read them. I thought it was just I just thought it was like I just thought it was pure action. I don't know, action and drama, and the character's funny, and there's a lot of levity, and the fact that he's so socially awkward is hilarious, and it's disarming. And
actually, he's quite articulate. I mean, he has like lots of
this show. He doesn't say much in the books.
Oh, really?
I thought I was hitting the lottery because I was like, I'm not gonna have to learn any lines. And then I get a 9-page monologue the first day, and I'm like, so I'm delivering all the exposition. I see. But it's fun, and the way it's handled is
you know, I mean, I remember reading for parts, and like you'd think you'd nailed it, and then like you'd see who got it, and they go, okay, that guy just was this,
right?
You know, and those, you know, there's no shame in that you're just this guy,
totally,
and you are, right?
It seems to be true for me.
No,
right
I mean,
now.
even like personality-wise, you seem like the, you know. I don't know anything about you, personal life, but am I wrong to guess that?
You know, Reacher is much more stoic than I am. I love people so much.
Really?
And that's why I'm here.
I don't.
I just, I deeply love, I have an affection for people. And, you know, I'm
I do too. I mean, I'm so blessed with so many, when you get older, you know, you collect people just the way you collect all the shit in this room and everything else in life. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's good.
Not at all. I would say I work with a psychiatrist. I just started working with a psychiatrist. And the number one theme, for me. And the number one theme in this conversation is you have to plug in, like, to put people in your life, just to broaden your landscape, because I'm so intensely private and so self-reliant and such a lone wolf.
That's Reacher. It's what I just said to you.
It is Reacher.
So I was right.
That is Reacher. But
do you have a house?
I don't.
No. Oh.
I just sold my house because I'm never there.
So what do you walk on the road like?
I live out of like Airbnbs and stuff where I work. I mean, dude, I have not had a day other than the strike. I have not had a single weekend off in like 2 years. I go from project to project with no time in between. It's been a very good run. And I'm never home, and I like it that way. And I've got 3 kids, and I've got a wife, and we all travel together, and we homeschool our kids. And
you like Reacher, but he brings his kids on the road?
Yeah, a little more than a toothbrush. Yeah.
I saw the trailer. They sent me the trailer. I guess it's not out yet, right? The movie, the World War II
Ministry
movie?
of yes.
Now, for something like me, that looks really great because World War II, big World War II buff. And
had you heard of Anders Lassen?
No.
Or the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare? This is
that a real thing?
This is declassified. This is Winston Churchill's brainchild, and these documents were just recently declassified, and there was a book written about them. So this movie is loosely based on that book. Of course, it's Guy Ritchie, so it's got his.
Guy Ritchie.
It's got his spin on it, But
what's he like?
That working with him was creatively the scariest.
I noted the pause.
The air goes out of the room.
Like,
so just to put it in context, from a performer's perspective, right? I am super intense with my work, and so I'm playing this historical figure, Anders Lassen, World War II figure, who part of the first Special Forces mission in history, essentially. And this is a Danish aristocrat in World War II who learned English and, from British aristocracy, so a fine and muddled accent. I needed to prepare for this role. He's an archer,
Have you ever done an accent in a movie?
Yeah, I've got a movie coming out tonight, actually. A Kentucky accent.
You are busy.
It's a busy boy.
You got a movie coming out tonight? Really?
Today.
What's that movie?
Ordinary Angels is also based on a true story. The headlines in the 90s were Snow Baby. This is about a father who loses his wife to a rare genetic disorder, and his daughter comes down with the same thing. And so he's in a fight. It's man versus institutions and medicine and hospitals and debt and nature to try to save this little girl.
It's a comedy?
It's the funniest movie I think I've ever made. And Hilary Swank plays Sharon, this woman who's got.
Love Hilary Swank.
She's incredible. She's incredible in the movie. Sharon in the story.
She seems like a nice person.
She's like Hilary or Sharon?
Yeah, Hilary Swank.
She's wonderful.
Yeah.
She's genuinely a very down to earth person, and was so generous to take this space with me. I mean, she didn't know who I was before doing this, and she was just told he's on the project and. Do you like the script? And she said she would do it. And there was a little apprehension I could tell when we met of this air of like, you better be good, And
that's good for you.
In the first scene that we did together, she grabbed me by the shoulder at the end and said, "Good. I'm so glad you're doing this movie."
Oh, that's great.
It was so good. Yeah. So she was real sweet. And then and now we've been good friends. So she's great. But she plays this character who is a town drunk and. Decides just on a whim to help this family. She sees a headline in the paper and decides, I'm going to move heaven and earth to help this little girl. Totally platonic, a relationship between her and the father, and she helped save this girl. And it's a very inspiring movie. At the premiere, Lionsgate handed out Kleenex to everybody in the audience, and not one was dry at the end of the film.
Really?
It's a beautiful movie, and. Wholesome and
so that's
fun
in the
for
theaters?
So that's out today. So I guess when people are seeing this,
I guess movies are going back to opening in the theaters, huh?
We are, yeah.
Thank God.
Thank God for Lionsgate. They're not only are they taking a swing at the theaters, Lionsgate, but they're taking a swing at original, at either true stories or smaller, impactful films, or things like Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare is also Lionsgate. That's a high concept, original, a piece of IP. So they're filling that very difficult space with that, like between $20 and $70 million.
You don't have to sell me on Lionsgate. I made him one movie, my movie, called Religulous. I don't know if you ever heard
I've seen it.
Oh, okay.
It was great.
It is great. I mean, Larry Charles, the brilliant director who did Borat and Bruno, he and we went and did this movie 15 years ago. Wow, seems...
Was that Lionsgate that distributed that?
And first of all, nobody would do it today, but only Lionsgate would do it back then. I will always be so indebted to them because...
I feel the same way.
I mean, my ex-manager at the time, Brad Gray, was head of Paramount. And of course, we were close and he was like, we could do it. And I said, you know what? You know what'll happen, Brad, is that people will start to complain and say, if you release this movie or blah, 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 show it here, do that, then we're not going to support X, Y, and Z. And they had, Mission Impossible franchise and stuff. They had pressure to put on them. Lionsgate alone was like, fuck all you. We're going to put this movie out. Now, they wouldn't show it in many states. Probably the ones where you can't get an abortion.
Right, yeah. Probably the ones where it wouldn't have performed really,
but it did great. It was, at the time it came out, it was the 7th most successful documentary ever made.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it did really, really. But, of course, the material was going to be offensive to any religious people, which is still most of the country. And even though it was not mean-spirited, it was not looking down on Christians or, we one of the first places we went was a truck stop church outside of Raleigh, North Carolina. Truckers, and it's a little shed out in the parking lot.
Right.
And they have a mass there, and they, and I spoke to them there, and one guy walked out right away.
Right.
It was like, if you're making fun of my God, man, I don't want any part, but the other one stayed, and we had a really good dialogue.
Interesting.
They weren't, we wound up hugging it out, and,
Do you feel like you learn anything from that audience when you talk to people from that space?
I'm always up for learning something. I mean, my favorite 3 words are, I don't know, because if I say that, I always learn something. So, if you can tell me, usually it's the other way around, quite frankly, because people, they're religious, they don't know anything about their own religion. Most Christians, maybe you're one of them, you're Christian, right?
I am.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Would tell you that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John were disciples of Jesus, the people who wrote the Gospels. And they were absolutely not. Did you think they were?
No, I mean, we know that those documents were based off an older document.
They came later.
Right, yeah.
Jesus died in 33, and the first gospel, the Gospel of Mark, is 70.
Right.
They were not contemporaries of his. They all had similar names, the disciples.
Right.
So it is a little confusing.
Right.
But I've talked to people who are real, serious Christians and scholars and all this stuff, and they, oh no, don't think that's, I'm like, trust me, every scholar understands this. It's not an insult either. It's just, that's just the fact.
I mean, the big...
They don't know their own religion. They haven't read the Bible. They talk about the Bible a lot. It's a long book. Some of it's boring.
But the problem that I have with most Christians today, and I talk about this openly a lot, is that it misses the point. I mean, you can get hung up in the weeds about document Q or whatever you want to talk about with where this stuff comes from, but the point is very simple. You've got somebody who claims to be the Messiah pointing the way towards a whole radically different new way to love. And that's through self-sacrificial care of your neighbor.
Very true.
And when you talk about just that, it's a really beautiful thing that a lot of other religions don't talk about, because you're talking about religions that talk about the way to salvation is through doing it over and over and over again and living a million lives, or finding your own self-elevation, through meditation or contemplation. But this is talking about admitting that we are flawed and admitting that there's a path towards joy that comes through self-service and self-sacrifice. And I like that.
The biography of Jesus is anything but unique. In fact, it's stolen. the number of gods who came before him who were born on December 25th, really, had disciples, were crucified or something on a tree, and then came back to life.
Even Genesis, like even the very first story in Genesis, the second line, talking about the Spirit hovered over the water, those chaos waters, that myth was absconded from early Eastern.
The flood.
So, but the thing that makes it different is there's a twist on every one of them that orients us towards, I think, a seed of truth that is worth inspecting and holding on to. That for example, the real twist in the first myth, in the creation myth in Genesis, is quite simply that those chaos waters that everybody knew, and the serpent being, the snaky monster being the mythological villain, was well known to people at that time, but never had there been an acknowledgement that it was God who created that thing, and that he thought that thing was good, and that we're to coexist with this world where things like monsters exist and humans exist, and there's a way to do that in a way that still breeds peace. That had never been done before.
Well, I was going to say, the biography of Jesus, not original, but the message was revolutionary. The message, nobody had really ever been down the meek shall inherit the earth road. There were so many at the time that Jesus was around. If he lived, that is still an open question. He could not have been actually a historical figure, but probably was. But at the time, the Greek-Roman mythology was waning, so there were a lot of other competing religions. It's kind of like, when anything starts, sometimes there's two meteor movies. There's always, Betamax and, what beat Betamax, VHS.
It's also that idea.
There's always competing things that are coming around. There were competing religions at Jesus' time. The reason why that one won is because in an empire that was at least a third slave, the message of it gets good in the afterlife was very attractive. And that's not something, that's not really in Judaism either. It's not Judaism is not centered on the next world.
Right.
Christianity is like, sure, this life is shit, but let me tell you something, you're going to inherit the kingdom of heaven. And who's going to do that? The meek, the losers. The losers are going to get.
Right.
Now, Nietzsche said this message was very bad for humans because it was telling you the strong don't win, and that, of course.
Well, not only that, but that Earth is not our home. Here's the problem.
That what?
That Earth is not our home. That our home is somewhere else in heaven, right? And so we can take a dump on Earth, right? Because it's not. This isn't for us. Because we're waiting for the better place, right?
Exactly.
But that is also not the message. The message is that the kingdom is coming to us. That heaven is coming here. That our restoration, our salvation, and our heaven is earth, that we're earthly creatures made for this place, and that this resurrection will take place on earth. So there's like, if you're truly following the way of Christianity, you will be a good steward of this place because this is where heaven is.
This would be a really successful episode if you got me to be a Christian by the end of it. I'm telling you, this thing would fucking explode on the internet. Reacher convinces Bill Maher, devout Christian.
That would be hilarious. And that's not my effort. Look, I talk about this all the time. And what I want, if I could have my druthers, I want less vitriol in the world, and I want the Christian community not to be the one that's known for making outliers and monsters of others.
Right.
It's a real disappointment.
And there is a growing number of Christians who feel exactly the way you do. I mean, we are so, when I started covering politics, Christian was always Jerry Falwell and those.
Yeah, right.
And I mean, the generations change, and it's just the people who are left in Christianity, because it is always going downward. The trend is always, less and less people are believing the myth.
Why would you want to?
God
there's
bless.
a lot of venomous Christians out there who are so tribal that what they're trying to do is find safety in numbers and creating outgroups.
No, I mean, the younger generations, I'm always ragging on them for good reason. They deserve it. But they do. But, and they know it.
But they're inheriting a real shit show.
Oh, stop it. They're inheriting the best world that it's ever been. What a bunch of bullshit.
For who?
For them.
For Wall Street?
No,
there are a lot of people who can't. They'll never own a home. There are people who will never own a home because of the way that things are structured.
That is a tough one right now. But actually, it's not even true. I had this woman on my show just last Friday, Jean Twangy. She's this expert. She wrote the book on generation. She's done a number of books on this. One of the big revelations that surprised me and everybody else who was hearing it is that the millennials who we've been hearing forever, tough economic times and living in their parents' basement and actually doing better comparatively by the numbers than every other generation. They're not. Now,
wow. Every millennial right now rolling over in their parents' basement as they listen to you say this.
But they're
not. They can't afford a home. Hoping their apartment
but they're not.
So get rent control.
But Alan, there's actual government statistics on this kind of stuff. So what you're citing is anecdotal. That's what I was doing.
That mom and dad croak right now so that they can try to get a house.
Again, we have actual information on that. We have actual information. So you can believe what you ever want, because that's what religion is, just believing whatever the fuck you want.
Right,
but there is actual information.
True.
There is actual information.
Totally.
And the millennials are actually doing better than other
Here's what millennials are doing better than anybody else, than any generation before. This is a real headline, and you want to go look this bad boy up. Fathers are spending more time with their kids than any generation before them.
Well, good.
That is the victory that they're having. They're re-ranking their priorities.
What I was going to say is they're less religious.
They are re-ranking their priorities.
Right.
And they're finding ways to spend time in places that matter more than corporate servitude.
Or church.
Or church. Or church if your church is is missing the point.
But I was raised Catholic.
I was too. I am not Catholic. I am not Catholic.
Oh, really?
I am not.
Me neither. Look at that.
I am not Catholic.
What are you?
There are so many problems, and I'm so disgusted at the defense that they've waged for their cardinals and bishops and everybody involved in
kid stuff.
Yeah, dude, it's disgusting how hard they're fighting.
Well, it just shows you how institutions become corrupt, and you know, I mean, this last pope, there were lots of things I just like him as a guy. He wavers between doing like hip stuff.
Very progressive.
He takes a hip pill once in a while.
And then he goes and protects a cardinal who's like been passing around kids.
He doesn't do that.
Like baseball cards.
No.
Yeah, they do.
He knows, not this one.
They all know about this stuff. And nobody, if he's doing it until somebody stops the buck and they go, you know what? We're going to hold all these pedophiles accountable.
Well,
he is not holding them accountable, so he's just as complicit.
The church definitely.
Think he doesn't know?
The church definitely needs a fresh new face somewhere other than a priest's lab.
Like Jack Smith, maybe could be the both. Like maybe we get a prosecutor and be the Pope.
No, but you're being too hard on Frank. Frank has tried more than his predecessors to. I mean, he talked openly about the homosexual cabal in the Vatican. Nobody ever did that. Nobody ever blew the lid off that one. And he is not. I don't think he is. Transferring them like they used to. I don't think I think, first of all, it just became too obvious and it was too open and nobody could do that anymore. But I like Frank. Again, he wavers between like sort of taking a hip pill one day and he'll say things like, atheists can get into heaven, like we could give a shit because we don't believe in it. Okay, but a nice gesture. And then he'll go back to, he remembers he's the fucking Pope. And, and he'll do something really hard, right wing. But it's like, okay, but that's your brand. I kind of respect that, You kind of like have to like once in a while be that guy because that's what people want. I mean, why would you join a religion if you didn't want like super duper hard, fast rules to keep you in line and to give you a sense of order in the world, even if it's not, I mean, my Jewish mother, sort of Jewish, but not Catholic. She didn't go to church with us. When I asked her at the beginning of religion, I was, why did you go along with this, Because she didn't go to church. She said, well, I just thought you needed structure. And any structure, even though I didn't believe in it, was better than nothing. Okay. I get that. I wouldn't subscribe to it, but I understand that's why. She thought, oh, you need some kind of religion in you. I mean, this is the 60s, So, yeah, I'm not Catholic. It sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me, but they're going to teach you commandments and right and wrong. And I think people feel like, and a lot of people, by the way, do need that. I mean, I think religion, it can make you, it absolutely keeps some people in line. Mark Wahlberg, I'm guessing, is one of them.
Yeah.
I just feel like without Catholicism, Mark Wahlberg would be all over the map.
You know, and it's not to say that everybody, you know, every Catholic is complicit or every Catholic is in on that or whatever. I mean, look, my mom is a staunchly Catholic. She's a saint, you know. She's like a daily mass, like, you know, spends her free time gardening, tilling the, you know, the weeds at the church, and you know, I think it's not just important to her, but it's you know, it's an important part of our identity, and I respect that. And there are millions and tens of millions of people like that around the world that are Catholics. But I personally just couldn't be a part of something, giving my tithes or time or energy towards something where it's so well known that there's hideous acts of you know, rape and pedophilia going on, and nobody's doing anything about it, you know.
So you're religious, but without a structure, you don't subscribe to any one organization. Because organizations do always become corrupt. Always. To some degree.
You know,
it's in the nature.
I think, I mean, that probably has more to do with just the lack of structure in my life. You know, I don't have a home. Really, you know,
you're
like
Reacher.
We're back to being Reacher. I mean, I'll spend 4 or 5 months in Toronto filming Reacher, and then I'll go to London or Turkey to film a movie. I'm in Winnipeg. I'm here. I'm there. Like, I don't have anywhere to plug in really, so I don't have a reason to sort of like you know, see what the constitution of a certain you know, religious platform is. But I deeply care about exploring those ideas. I think they had a ton of fulfillment to my life, and look, I'm not the poster child for Christianity. I'm a creative perfectionist and stubborn and strong-willed and, you know, duplicitous, and I benefit greatly from having a model for me for what I think the highest ideal of love is, which, like I said, is a self-sacrificial love.
Right.
You know,
I'm totally down with that.
That's it.
Yeah. I just don't think he's God. I don't think there's such a thing as a God.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out.
Well,
rock on. Like, I do. I'll name it, you know, but
well, that's kind of.
But I know that's not for everybody.
But that's kind of like buying the insurance when you get a rental car. I mean, that's not a good reason. I'm not saying that's why you're doing it.
I've got an umbrella policy, so I'm
not saying that's why you're doing it. But, and yeah, maybe you're right. I mean, I always say it in religious. I preach the gospel of I don't know. You know, people make much too big of a deal about the difference between atheist and agnostic.
Yeah.
It really is the same thing.
Yeah, totally. Look, I just, you know, there's like, I think there's good reasons. We don't have to get into it. I think there's good reasons, though. Like people that were very close to him died defending the fact that he was a historical figure and that what he said was true and that they believed he was a Messiah.
Are we talking about Jesus?
11 of his 12 apostles, yes.
Oh.
You know, so, you know, well, there's like, there are things that have happened historically that are verifiable that I think go to show that people that were very close to him very much believe this.
That's not historically verifiable. That he had disciples and that's
like that Paul lived and was a Roman. That's what I'm talking about. Like
Paul was not a disciple.
He died.
Saint Paul.
He had an interaction on the road to Emmaus. He would argue that he was because he had a personal interaction with. But you and I, you as a non-believer would say it's not possible.
Okay, I got to give you the facts. These are facts.
I
Jesus dies in 33 AD. Paul was writing in the 50s. He was Saul of Tarsus. Yes. He had a vision on the road to Damascus. It was a cross in the sky. He never met Jesus. And in fact, one of the things that's so iffy about the Gospels is that the Gospels, which are written 20 years after St. Paul was writing, know way more about Jesus than Paul does.
The voice that he was talking to. So you have to believe in magic. You have to believe in magic for it to be true.
Great.
I accept that.
I accept it too.
I accept that you have to believe in magic. And I admit, I do believe in magic. The voice he was talking to said, "Why do you persecute me?" And he was trying to kill Christians.
And I love
this is Christ that he's talking about. So I believe that he did have an interaction, personal interaction with the person that he died.
Oh, I see. Okay,
defending.
All right, great. And you know what? I love that. I don't have to agree with everybody on everything. I
feel the same way.
I love my magic. I love my magician brothers.
That's it. That's what it boils down to.
This quarter behind your ear.
Yeah, totally. But that's what it boils down to. And I admit, I believe that kind of magic is real.
And if it works for you, I'm thrilled.
Totally. But so did Paul.
No.
So you can't say that he wasn't a real historical figure. This
Paul
man,
was a historical figure.
Paul was undeniably a historical
but
figure.
And not a contemporary of Jesus.
Sort of.
Oh, I see. With the
That's people would argue this with him in his own day, of course.
Right.
His own peers.
Not by our
not by those standards of apostleship, but I would say that he was because of that interaction.
It's funny when we went to one of the stops in religious was Holy Land in Florida. It's like it's a it's basically Disneyland for Christians.
Right.
And I talked to it's one of my favorite parts of the guy who plays Jesus in the thing, and there's a whole pageant where we see him walking on the Villa di La Rosa, with the 7 stops and carrying the cross, and people are taking pictures. And but he, I was asking him about I said, when I was a little Catholic boy, the first thing they said is, they were very proud of the fact that they were this was a monotheistic religion, that we had one God. I think they were thinking it was a big, flex over the pagans and heathens with their many gods. They're so unsophisticated. And we have one God, and his name is God. And he has a son, Jesus, who's also God.
Right.
And I was like, wait,
the Trinity.
Right away. I'm like, didn't you just tell me aren't we over the limit? And then he explained, he said, well, it's like ice and water and steam. It's all the same thing, but it's in different forms.
Right.
And I told Larry the next day, I think it's in the movie, where I'm like, he had me for a second there.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going for this. This is, at least you have an answer.
Yeah, that is, and that's a tough concept to understand. How can you manifest 3 distinct identities and still be one?
To be your own dad.
Yeah.
It's gotta be, come on.
Yeah.
That's
a subservient manifestation to the spirit manifestation. That's hard. It's hard for people to understand. But that also is right. If you deny that, you are not a Christian.
Right.
The Trinity is the very core.
Stick with your brand. Exactly.
It is the very core.
That's exactly.
So you must again.
That's what I'm saying.
You must believe in this kind of with magic.
When Frank does his thing, I'm like, you have to do that to you're the Pope. You got to be, that phrase, more Catholic than the Pope.
Right.
Nobody should be.
Right. Totally.
And he's got to he's trying to move. I can tell he wants to move faster, but you got to bring the flock with you. Not everyone in the parade is at the head of the parade.
Right.
And that's kind of important.
Totally.
So, well, I'm glad we straightened that out.
If we fixed religion in just a quick
fix
30-minute soundbite.
You can't fix it, but you can talk about it, and I do think it is morphing into, where you are with it, I'm very comfortable with, because what's dangerous about it is when people are fundamentalist.
Right.
That's when you get people flying planes into buildings, thinking they're doing the right thing.
Totally.
Like none of those hijackers thought they were doing the wrong thing.
Right.
They weren't that's different than a psychopath.
Right.
They thought they were doing the right thing.
Right.
And so do suicide bombers and the people at Hamas, and that's what's my biggest thing about religion is that.
I'm 100% with you.
I know you are.
I think there are terrorists with a little t, and they don't realize.
Well said.
They don't realize that that's them, and I would like to put a stop to that from my little corner of the world with what little platform I have. That's not the way.
I hope this isn't too personal, but it strikes me as odd that someone would have religion in their life and also a psychiatrist.
Really?
Yes, because I feel like they are.
Why?
Because I feel like they're redundant in what they do. Like you used to go to confession and tell your sins to the priest. I did that many times.
I did too as a Catholic, of course.
Scared the shit out of me. And then you went to a psychiatrist.
If you were non-religious as your confession.
Well, the priest would tell you that was wrong, you're bad, say 15 Hail Marys, and the shrink would tell you, well, don't feel bad about it. But it was the same thing. It was like.
But this is why I talk about this kind of stuff so openly, because
I think
the
same ground they're covering.
I personally feel like there are 3 things that are very important to me that we destigmatize and learn to have conversations about in a healthy, productive way: faith, family, and mental health. And mental health is something I've struggled with. You don't know much about me personally, but I've been very open with my struggles. I'm bipolar. I have ADHD. Been diagnosed with that. And I'm a suicide survivor. It's when I was 35.
35?
Yeah, not long ago. I'm 41 now. And
so why didn't it work?
Weirdly, while it was happening, I saw my kids, but they were grown. And they were totally calm and emotionless. And they said, "Dad, we want you here. We want you to see all this." And so I climbed up out of it.
But what the fuck made you so sad?
Depression is crazy, dude.
Oh, yes, it is.
Depression is crazy.
So it's just a chemical thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
and you wouldn't believe the power that it has over you. It doesn't matter how many muscles you got. Dude.
No, it totally. And it is a chemical thing.
I couldn't get out of bed.
There were people, Mike Wallace was one of them. I think Dick Cavett was another one. You may not know these people there, but they were stars of an ilk in their day. Talked about how they were in therapy for years, and then they just gave him a pill. It was just a chemical thing, you just have to pour something in the test tube that is lacking, and it's really a sad thing because it's so simple, and yet, yes, you can't beat it with your will or with anything else.
But I was not diagnosed with bipolar at the time, but I had been manic for 9 months. And I was servicing all these, I was a slave to
Did they give you something that?
I did, I got on medicine. Yeah, I mean, so that weekend, the weekend it happened, I went and I called the doctor when it was done, and I said, I need to speak with somebody immediately. And I never talked to a psychiatrist about anything at that point. Anyway, I went in and took some tests, and I was diagnosed with bipolar. And I was like, it was hard to accept at first because I didn't want to be labeled.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so much power in understanding, and having a label. There's so much power in having an understanding of what that diagnosis is. And now I've read dozens of books about it. I've spoken with professionals about it. I've talked to doctors, and just there's a way for me to manage this in a healthier way than feeling like there's only one gift left for me to give, which is suicide.
But you know what? I'm going to tell you something. Not that this was good that it happened, but it actually is a great thing for your future. You know why? Because you're about to embark on this trip to stardom. You're right at that moment. You've done a lot of work. You just said it. You're working so much, you can't even have a house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, you're at that thing. Now you're in the Guy Ritchie movie. You're moving into this. It's going to get really, really heady.
Right.
And you're good looking, you're big. You're going to need something that makes you vulnerable, because the audience, the reason they read the tabloids is not to read how good people are doing.
Right.
They want to feel like somebody who's a good-looking, very successful guy has some things in their life that actually are worse than mine, and this will fit the bill perfectly.
Right.
He was so sad, this guy, that he tried to kill himself. So,
but depression looks funny because what people don't realize is I was making tons of money at the time. I was very successful.
Sure.
It was not.
Right.
It was not like things are not going well, and
right.
I'm crumbling under the weight of society right now. Like, this was the opposite. It was this. It was a combination of this crippling, existential, when you get to the top of your ambitions, what's left for you, and also I was. I had a falling out with some business partners, and just kind of a confluence of things that weren't going well. And so it was.
Excuse me, you weren't at the top of your ambitions.
At that point in time, I was
really. You never wanted to get even higher. Come on, you're just getting there now. You're not even there yet.
I'm more a creator than an actor, right? I like being at the genesis of ideas. I had written I was ghostwriting for people, so I was writing manuscripts for people, selling screenplays, I was directing films, I was starring in a show. I mean, there was a lot, dude, I was taking all the boxes. You kind of go there's not much
there's
higher, there's just different.
But there's a level of doing that you're about to get to that you're doing those things you just ticked off on your hand, but on a better level. You're getting the best scripts. You're working with the best directors.
This is what's happening now. I totally understand.
Right, you're getting your own shit made. There is a level. Right. So, embrace it.
Too.
How old are your kids?
We just had a birthday yesterday. They're 11, 10, and 8.
Oh.
All boys.
All boys. Yeah. And all bunched together. That's good. Makes it easier, right? No?
I guess. If we're out of baby phase, perhaps.
And you're going to have more?
No, dude. No, it's not possible now.
And it's not possible?
Oh, no.
I totally get why everyone is apoplectic about the Supreme Court getting rid of our abortion rights, because people just don't like kids anymore, a lot of them, and they just want to they want it to be their choice. We are in a, despite what Barbie says about living in a patriarchy, we are not living in a patriarchy, and women today definitely don't want that as a part of their life unless they want it. But I totally understand why Frank has to be out there going, you must have had a baby. Right. And he wouldn't like this either. Anything that stops at the baby and getting it made, we don't like. Yeah, the baby, it's a natural thing. And they always want more Catholics in the world. That's more baby. You can't have more Catholics without more babies. So, but I totally get it. And 3 is already a
handful, dude. I travel a lot. Like, I'm on the road a lot.
Also,
that's hard.
Also,
that's tough.
Kids are like dogs. Like, if you have 2 of them, they get along pretty good, but then 3 starts to become like a pack.
Right. Yeah, don't get too big for your britches,
and I feel like they could gang up on you.
Yeah, they do, but they're great. And it's funny because...
And they're okay with the nomadic life?
Not so, no. No, it's hard.
Because it's hard to make friends.
How do you make a friend when you have no community?
But that may make them very strong individuals when they become one. Or psychos.
Yeah, we've got 3 serial killers on the way. We're breeding them I don't know. You're looking at it the way I try to look at it. As glass half full, and this is going to work out to be a strength of theirs. They're well traveled and connoisseurs of many things that most kids don't experience, and have seen a lot of culture, and their minds have been expanded in a way. Like, you can try to justify that, but at the end of the day, these are 10-year-olds that want friends, and they don't have any.
But let me tell you something. They're gonna. I'm looking into my crystal ball here. They're like at this age where do they have phones and social media?
Hell no. Phones?
Oh, good for you.
For why would I?
Good for you.
Because I give a child a phone.
Well,
who's he going to call? He doesn't have any friends.
Most parents do. Most parents want to have their kids on this electronic tether.
Absolutely not.
I mean, I've seen it, not in life because I don't ever see children, but I've seen it in TV shows and movies. They all can't be mischaracterizing it, where the parent texts the child who's upstairs.
Right.
to come down to dinner.
Get down here. Get down here.
No, that's what they used to do.
Yeah, that's what we need more of that.
Much more of that. Or I didn't even have to have that. My town, God bless my Leave It to Beaver upbringing, my town had a 6 o'clock whistle.
Oh, right.
And when I was out playing, always by myself with no supervision, as it should have been, and it should be again, but they would never allow that, a child alone. Oh my God, call 911. But I would hear the whistle and run home.
My dad his superpower was this shrill.
Yeah.
I mean, 18 miles away, this thing rings your ears.
So your kids don't have phones, but okay, they're still going to be at a very formidable age in their life, like tweens and teenagers. They're going to become very, very aware that dad is. But dad's going to be like, you're not like in the tabloids yet. Trust me, I read them.
Well, I'm not, I'm not a disruptive figure, so there's not much to talk about. But
you're going to be. You're going to be.
A disruptive figure?
No, in the tabloids.
No, people don't want to talk about me.
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
Trust me, you're wrong. They're always looking for new. You're going to be in the tabloids.
I'm not interesting enough. Shut up.
Let
me keep my head down.
First of all, they don't give a shit if you're interesting. You don't have to be interesting. I'm fucking interesting. Nobody's more interesting than me. They don't cover me that much because I'm 68 and older and male and heterosexual and a million other things. Right. But I'm telling you, you're going to be in the tabloids, and your kids, there's no way that they're not going to be aware of what's going on with your career and stuff. I'm just telling you, it's going to be an interesting period.
They're well aware. It's disruptive, dude. I'll have, like, we were waiting outside of a restaurant, waiting for a table, and we had
I'm sure you get mobbed all the time just from
my poor kids just get, there's tunnel vision. They don't, it's nothing malicious. They just, people don't realize
it's going to get worse.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to get my
worse
phone.
Or better.
A phone for my child is not the salve that I'm looking for. So no, that's not not going to be a problem, but they already know it's a hassle.
But you like being on sets.
I feel like that's what I do. That's like me on a set. Like,
see, I hated it.
It is I am so at home.
When I like a show, I watch every minute of it, and I've watched every minute of the first 2 seasons.
Thank you.
Yeah, you don't have to thank me.
Thank you. I'm glad you
because
thank you for watching.
Well,
keeps us going.
I don't watch anything I don't like. I certainly wouldn't watch the whole thing. I'd sample something.
Right.
But I was at the dinner with people last night and my friends, and they were talking about what they were watching. They were watching the one about Truman Capote that's on now, which I might enjoy. I could enjoy that too. And this other one about Karl Lagerfeld, was it, or no? Some designer. Back in the 40s, and it sounded interesting also, but like, sort of slow and intellectual. And they said, "What are you watching?" I said, "I'm watching Reacher and Hightown." Just on Stars. And it's about, the badass sheriff who's fucking the stripper, who's actually the baby mom of the drug kingpin. Like, yeah, I like Hightown. I remember I watched Banshee. Remember Banshee?
Amazing, yeah.
That was like my kind of show, like Vikings.
Yeah.
Like, it's TV.
Real highbrow stuff.
Don't fucking tell me what I should be watching.
They call it dad TV, which is, I don't really understand.
No, but your show, like the plot resolution, the sticking the landing. I always say this. I was talking to somebody the other day, some director here, and it was like, it's all about the ending. Anybody can think of a good idea for a movie or a show. It's how you end it.
Right.
And like, the resolution, I thought it was very clever of where you go. You start with a mystery at the beginning, whatever it was. And then by the end, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense, and the onion is slowly being unraveled as we go. And you're giving the audience enough to be going, what's in the next scene?
Right.
But not too much where it's obvious, but not too little so it's murky.
Just a hair's breadth ahead of the audience.
I'm not a fan of murky.
Yeah, no. It's a fine line.
Yeah, it's a fine line.
Yeah.
And then some kicking ass.
And then a couple punches.
No, I like the relationship with you and the little blonde girl in the first one.
Willa Fitzgerald. She played Roscoe.
She was great.
One of the best. Probably will be the best actress I've ever worked with for as long as I live. She was so intensely. She was so engaging.
She was good, but come on, let's not be ridiculous. You have a long.
That's not the only thing she's gonna do.
I
got a taste of it. She's gonna do great things.
I think she was great.
She's
I'm
phenomenal.
not arguing with you, but. Okay, great. You're the greatest actor you'll ever work with. Sarah Bernhardt would come back from the dead. This chick would be better. But I kind of need a love story, some kind of love story, to keep me interested for a whole series. So that was a good one.
Okay, yeah.
Just the way it evolved.
We got to hold loosely to those love stories in Reacher because they ain't gonna last very long. This is an anthology.
Well. We'll see. We'll see who outlasts who.
Yeah.
You never know.
Totally.
But you're good now. I mean, did the shrink help with that?
Yeah, well, I guess that's what I was going to say was there are things that psychiatrists offer that it's not really religion's purpose, and so there's a confluence of both cognitive therapy and science, with medicine. It's come a long way, and when you put those together, you get some much needed help. So we got to do both,
Yeah, I went to a psychiatrist a couple of times, very briefly. It was more like couples therapy at the behest of someone I was in a relationship
with. Right. Did she wanted to fix you?
All I could do to not laugh out loud. No. I mean, I know it helps a lot of people, but it was just so much of it was just so LOL. The idea
if you don't go through like 9 psychiatrists though trying to find the right one, you're doing it wrong.
Is that right?
That's it. You got to find the one that's for you. Just like dating, you wouldn't marry the first person that you date. What, like the first? No, you go through 15, 20 relationships.
But the idea that someone who I'm just meeting now could in any way know me better than I know me. It's like there's so many things about me that like I am just such an expert on, and the psychiatrist really would not be.
But you've got a micro version of yourself. You're zoomed in because you're in there, and there could be somebody who's a really well-educated, well-qualified individual to step back and help see the macro, and see like there's a plot hole over here. There's a little, we need to fill the soil in over here. It's getting a little sparse, the grass, you know, and we can pay attention to that area more. And sometimes it's important to have, unbiased third party who's well qualified to do that for you.
Yeah. Or you might be digging up some shit that is better left buried. I feel like.
Oh, come on. No.
You don't think anything
Nobody
is better?
has benefited in the history of mankind from packing your dirt down harder.
That is not necessarily
you
true.
Can't
You
get
do not
You
know
can't
that.
pull anything through the espresso if that shit's tamped down too hard.
Okay.
You got to loosen it up a little bit.
In many cases, yes. Yes, you're certainly right that if you bury ideas and if you buried trauma and you bury what you really think about something, first of all, it couldn't appear somewhere else in your physiology.
It will for sure manifest itself somewhere else in an ugly way until it's raising its hand.
There are some, but people also just want to pick on scabs that just let it heal over. You can't do anything more about it, and just to keep the wound open.
I don't think a well qualified professional would want to just pick a scab to see it.
I don't know about that. I think people they think it's smarter to just always somehow keep the. You know who does that, and for them it's actually understandable. Actors. Because that's your instrument. An actor is never any good unless they're have some turmoil inside that they're working off of. Am I wrong about that?
Let me.
I don't think so.
Here's the thing: one of the first rooms I ever went in as an actor, I was a semifinalist on American Idol season 3. That was my first time to LA.
American Idol.
I was a singer. So I was flown out for that.
You're a singer too?
Yeah, and that was my first love.
Oh, you're going to go back to that after you're a movie star?
I don't know. Oh yeah. I found my passion.
You'll be
I love filming.
No, you're going to be like J-Lo in many different ways, and then you're going to marry Ben Affleck.
That is the goal. Here. That's actually it's been my mission for years. Me and Al Affleck. No. Oh my gosh. The first room I went in, I had somebody who was interested in repping me because I was on American Idol and had done, was making my way into the business. And the first question was, "What kind of trauma do you have?" And I was like, "Oh, I had a pretty normal life. Like, I'm not interested." Why? I'm like, I can act. They're like, "No, I'm only the good actors are the ones with trauma, and if you don't have any, you're not going to be interesting on screen." And I just want to say that I think that's such horseshit.
But you got it. You do have trauma, and you're good on screen. So why are we arguing?
Wow.
Right?
I wasn't everybody's got trauma in their own, to some degree in their own respect. But I had a pretty lovely upbringing. I mean, issues with parents and narcissism and all that. But I was not there are people with real trauma and they're real broken. Okay, and it does not make them a better actor.
Okay, maybe not. But in your case, I'm going to start this story, and then
I was in my mid-30s,
and then we're going to freeze frame and go to 10 years earlier because we have to do that in every show.
I was totally fine.
Please don't do that in Reacher.
I was totally fine.
Will you promise me that? Are you doing more Reachers?
Of course.
Okay, so don't do that thing. The 10 years earlier, 6 months earlier.
We do it all the time. We do flashbacks all the
Everybody
time.
has to do that.
We have to do these flashbacks.
Why can't we just tell the story?
I'm with you.
No, but you're not a heavy flashback show. But the others are like, your flashbacks are good because they're within the context of it. It's natural. But that whole like, wait, where are we now?
Right.
Is it
right?
You know. No, I like that you brought back the dude, the square dude, who was a little bit in the second season.
Malcolm. Yes, Finley.
It was
Finley.
a perfect use of him.
Great. It was great. He's the best.
And then where does Reacher go in season 3?
Season 3 is about based on the book Persuader, one of the most beloved books in the series.
So you're like James Bond. You have the books to work off.
That's exactly right.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's almost we're approaching 30 books, so I could do this till I'm.
The funny thing about all these kind of shows or movies that are serials is like, how does the guy just keep running into trouble? I remember there was a show on called Murder, She Wrote. Don't make a fucking age joke. It's a famous show.
The black and white?
It was not in black and white.
Was it in Technicolor yet?
Yeah, when you drop dead at 49 of a heart attack, because you're too Sasquatchy.
Remember that one?
Yeah, bigger people
I'm for
less.
sure gonna. My heart's gonna give out quick.
Exactly.
I'm with you.
I guess, and then you'll have real vulnerability, and then you'll be in the tabloids.
I'll be begging you for a defibrillator. You're not gonna.
But Murder, She Wrote. It was this huge. I guested on it twice. And she lived in this small town. It was Angela Lansbury. She lived in this small New England town. And it was on for like 8-9 years. I mean, like, you think of the amount of murders that had to happen in a tiny New England town, but God damn it, like Die Hard, like they did 5 of those, like, really? Once again?
Right.
He's running into terrorists?
Right.
This motherfucker has the worst luck in the world.
There
but,
decades worth of research.
We want that. And does he have a love interest this time?
Every year.
Please. You got to have.
He's the American James Bond.
Exactly.
New romances everywhere he goes.
Yeah, because he really liked that little Roscoe, but he didn't like it more than his nature.
Right.
And that's
At least he can admit that.
Hey, I've never been married. I'm more Reacher than you in a way.
There you go.
But yeah, I do understand that, like. Part of maybe that's one thing I really relate to that character is, it's all about, I think it's all about that, like, is your life in tomorrow? I can't ever be happy with what happened, even though I have wonderful memories. They're gone. They're gone.
Yeah.
So it only tortures me if I can think about something that was great in the past that is not going to also happen in the future.
Totally.
So you were married when you tried to...
I had married with kids.
Right.
I thought that it was the best gift that I could give them at the time was freeing them of the burden of myself.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people that, people are, those that are left behind, confounded by suicide. How could they do this? Like they had a loving family, they had a loving wife or kids or whatever. How could they do this? I can assure you, they with what faculties they had working, they felt like it was the most loving thing that they could do.
Right.
And that's what's so difficult about it, because in the confusion of depression, that lack of logic and reason takes hold, and it seems logical. That's a hallmark of bipolar as well, is a clinical lack of insight.
So how does your wife deal with, like, when you go out? Like, I mean, I know guys like you, the chicks are always like and chicks have no shame. They don't care if you're with somebody. That makes it even better.
Yeah.
How does she deal with that?
She's intensely strong. We both came from a small town, and I think you say to yourself, like, I'll pursue this career, but you can't imagine what the consequences of success in an industry like this bring.
Going to get worse.
And when you have, how do I say this? When you have sex icons throwing themselves at you, trying to destroy your marriage, actively trying to destroy your marriage, you bet your ass she's damn strong. because you don't ask for that. It's like you can very well not invite that in your life and still be dealing with people trying to actively destroy your marriage.
Sounds like you need a friend to hang with you.
I think I need
sort of.
I need more people.
Guy who
I'll
could,
call you next time.
A guy who could, like,
maybe you can wingman
take
for
the
me.
overflow, take them off your hands, make your wife feel better, and also satisfy. Yeah. Well, I'm sure, but I think you're probably also being modest. I think it wouldn't work if you didn't help and participate. I mean, you can't be iffy on that. You can't be like, I know people, who are like, well, I flirt. I just never really do it. It's like, yeah, that's not good either.
Yeah, no.
In a way, that's worse.
And that's not real. That's not a real relationship. That's not a real relationship.
Well,
if that's who you are, and you're genuinely like entertained by this idea of playing with fire, that's not real.
Right.
Like that's not fair to the other person.
No, but I mean,
genuinely, deeply love and want a marriage. I love my wife. I want a marriage. I want my family to be intact.
Right.
I fight for it.
See.
I fight bipolar. I fight mania. I fight my own personal demons, and my own manly primal desires. Like, it's all out there, and we talk about it, and we go to war.
Right.
We go to war, and it fucking is a war, dude. It's a war.
It is?
Yeah, dude. This industry that I'm in, I'm talking.
The industry.
With what comes at you, what pulls at you, what tries to destroy your marriage, like it's.
Oh, I see.
It's all of it. It's real. It's real. You know, and so we really, really work hard.
Yeah, I can see.
Just to stay married. You know, and it takes a concerted effort. Absolutely, dude. But I mean it.
Nutty.
I mean it. And
it's nutty.
No, for
no,
her,
I'm kidding.
it's so worth it though. Really. But it's not for everybody. And I think there's a little bit of a problem in our society where we say that the model for healthy, successful, joyful living is a married couple, and we demote this idea of a single individual into second class. That's not right. That's not true. There are a lot of very, very meaningful, purpose-filled lives that are single individuals.
You're reading my lines.
But like you are not second class because you've decided to, to be single. Like, it's true.
No.
And like, we're talking about the Catholic Church and institutions. We have been told for so many years by large institutions that the model for successful, healthy living is a married couple. That's not true. You can have a deeply meaningful life and be single.
Of course. I mean, it's all just about personal taste. It's the chip that's put in our brain when we're born. I mean, you can laugh at me, and I'm perfectly fine with that because I laugh at them. And to me, it's preposterous. It's ridiculous. It's like, really? I mean, don't you get tired of that person seeing the same human being every day?
Oh, that's funny. It's so funny.
Auntie Mame said the world's a banquet and most poor sons of bitches are starving.
That's so funny. No, I know. I think there's something so deeply satisfying about a love that endures.
There is
time,
and I've had that too.
It's just. Oh, I crave it, dude, with every fiber of my being. Like, there are other interesting people in the world, but I think I found my person.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, you should definitely send her this podcast because I mean,
she couldn't care less about listening to my podcast anymore.
No, but like this tribute to her.
It's very, very much become about connection. Like I have a deep desire to connect. With her entire person, her body, mind, soul, right? And it's become this thing where, like,
I'm telling you,
you can look in the eyes of somebody that you deeply care about, and it's this act of like, I can't possibly get any closer to you than I am right now, and I wish I could, and it's this beautiful moment of connection. That's really, truly what it is, and I think when people discover that that's what the potential, that's where the potential lies in that kind of intimacy. If people haven't discovered this for themselves yet, maybe explore this idea of it truly being about how deeply can we connect in this moment? Instead of getting ourselves off or being gratifying to some self-serving degree, I think that's when it becomes special. And it took me a long time. I mean, we had to run into some really hard times for us to really appreciate that. That's what it is.
Like, and what are hard times all about?
Oh, it's hard.
You're gonna fight, and do you ever really forget where you buried a hatchet?
But I think people have said variations of this, but I think love is knowing exactly where those weapons lie and deciding not to use them. Like where you buried all these hatchets.
Right.
And that's you got to trust each other, and
that is a great definition of love.
Yeah. So
yes,
we definitely know where we can hurt each other, but we choose not to because we care deeply. So,
but things are good.
Things are good, yeah. But it's this business is hard, man, and doing life, building a family on the road together is hard, and trying to know when to give each other space to connect with community. Like our kids, for example, we put them in school for a semester.
My prediction: you're going to buy a house within 3 years. I think
I think we have to.
I think
we have to figure out a way to do it because our kids need it. Our kids need that.
And you're going to need it. You're going to find, I think, that you're going to like it. You're going to like, okay, this is home.
I don't know. I'm a raving mad artist. I'm a lone wolf. But my kids and my wife will like it.
I am too, but we all mellow. Freud said there's only two things in life, love and work. I put my eggs in, I can count on the work because that's me.
Because you can count on yourself.
I can count on myself. The love is super important and I can't live without it, but that's not going to be, I see that I can't count on that as much. Now this is, again, deeply psychological.
Hell yeah, it's deeply psychological. Hear me out.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm working with Jason Hall, who wrote American Sniper, incredible writer.
I just watched it again.
Incredible writer. Right?
Terrific movie.
We're developing a project together.
Wow.
And he said it really beautifully. He said, Joseph Campbell's entire hero's journey can be summed up like this: the protagonist's refusal to release. The refusal to release. That's the hero's journey, right?
Release what?
That's exactly the question you have to answer with your script.
The Kraken?
That's right. You've done that more than once. Refusal to release. What is it? We got to find what that is. What have we refused to release? For you, could it be that you've found a safe harbor in the work? There's not much work you have to do there because the fire's ignited and there's not a challenge there. There's nothing really to refuse to release. But in relationship, you have to give up your power and you have to give up control and safety and the feeling of security.
I'm a control freak.
Control freak.
See, I can't do that.
Can't release control.
I don't want to. I was in a relationship when I was from like 32 to 37, like the exact time I should have gotten married if you were going to get married.
Right.
But yeah, so I've been down the path, and then I've been in other, serious, that was 5 years. Other ones lasted like 3, 2. So I know the drill. I know what it's like. And I know the sacrifices and I know the gains. I know that it's very nice to have someone who they have your back.
Yeah.
And you can you have security. But I feel like this tension between security and excitement will never go away. And for me, look, Alan, water rolls downhill. It's always going to roll toward excitement.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
I'm so curious.
I know it's interesting to talk to people who are not like you, right?
Oh yeah,
it is because
yeah.
we're not like each other. But that's it. I mean, people always said to me my whole life, don't let your dick rule your life. Don't think with your dick. And I always said, why not? It's going to win anyway. I feel like my dick is like the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. They're gonna get out. You can try to write the end of this movie 10 different ways, but there's only one way this movie can end. The dinosaurs get out.
Right. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Wow.
But you're a better man than I because you're more mature and all that stuff. But you're going to be tested. I know I have to let you go because I got a plane. And by the way, thank you for doing this. I don't
Thanks for
know.
Having me, man. Appreciate it.
I know you came here to do this. I know you're always on the road, so I can't be that big-headed about it. You got to be somewhere that's not where you're supposed to be at any moment. So you put this on your stop, and I know you got to get back on the road. But I really did enjoy your show. I don't enjoy that many shows. And I wanted to do this because I was like, well, I'm going to get this guy right before he's too big to do it because he's going to be too big to do it. But I hope you won't forget us.
I wanted to do this. I wanted to do this. I enjoy the conversations you have.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And I'm deeply curious. I'm fascinated by
This was more fun than a barrel of monkeys. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.
I did.
I think I was going to ask you one other thing before I went into that, but I forgot. Oh, should I do my... I'm at the Hobby Center for the Performing Arts. It's so smooth, Alan, isn't it? In Houston, March 2nd, March 3rd, the Performing Arts Center in El Paso. Oh, this means your show's going to air very quickly, so it'll be right after your movie. What's the name of your movie that just came out?
Which one? Ordinary Angels. It's out today.
Ordinary Angels.
Yesterday for
February 23rd. And then I'll be March 23rd at the Jackie Gleason Theater in Miami. Did you ever get to any of these? Did you ever get to Miami?
I did. Just went there with my wife.
Let's fucking do Miami together.
Amen. Tell me when you're going. I'm there.
I want to March 23rd at the Jackie Gleason Theater. You're always on the road.
I just wanted to hear that.
Get your hobo stick. That's what I picture you. You have a hobo stick.
Johnny Appleseed.
With the clothes.
Yeah.
That was a funny bit in the thing where you in the first run where you never get the pie.